pillow. Countdown begins in 30 seconds out. 114 days till NFL football now. Ravens and the Chiefs on September 5th. 102 days till college football. Week 0 down. NHL series. The Panthers up 3-1 on the Bruins down. Cougars 2-1 on the Oilers and the Rangers up 2-1 on the Hurricanes here. And the Stars 3-1 the Avalanche down. NBA series. Pacers and the Knicks are tied 2-2. Timberwolves and the Nuggets tied 2-2. Now Thunder, Mavericks, we're tied 2-2. And Celtics 3-1 on the Cavs. And Paul Skenes. Here he goes, 7 strikeouts. Debut Pittsburgh versus the Cubs now. And I have Indiana Fever. Caitlin Clark debuts tonight, 8 p.m. on ESPN2. And on Pat McAfee Show starts live. And get 5. And starts live now.
Hey,
Why?
let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for. Ah! The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, you pig! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Sport! Hello, beautiful people. And welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this fast-talking Tuesday, May 14th, 2024. This sports program starts now.
Sports!
Our wonderful, as our auctioneers. We just had the incredible opportunity to see Matt Moravec, Mecum auto auctioneer, do his thing. We got to hang out with him all morning. 24 years he's been auctioneering for this Mecum auto auctions. And I'll tell you what, if you've never been, whenever they come to your city, you need to go. I am mesmerized by the show that they put on. I'm a car person, so I obviously don't mind seeing $730,000 vehicles kind of strut in front of you. And then right afterwards, a jacked up truck with fire flames on them and a V9 engine somehow instead of a V8 going in front of you. Then a three-wheeler, then a quad, then a Lambo, then a Ford Bronco from 1995, 2 years after.
Sure. Same color.
The famous, infamous O.J. Simpson Ford Bronco, and then it just never stops all day. They've been here for, I think, 4 days. They got 5 days left here, 9 days worth of just cars coming across the thing. Memorabilia collected. It's awesome. It's a museum. It is a blast, and Matt has been an absolute stud for us, taking care of us since I literally met him a few years back. Thank you to him for opening that. By the way, that was sports.
Yeah.
He covered everything going on in sports right there.
He did.
And then he even gave the countdown. I think it was a minute and 1 second. He said it was a 30-second countdown, so he certainly lied to everybody immediately upon starting. But that was fantastic, and sports are amazing right now. We got playoffs happening, obviously NBA, NHL. We're going to keep up with that. We got stories building in the NBA around LeBron James. What is he in Cleveland for? Is he going back home? Maybe. And what about Bronny? He hits 12 straight threes. Now, a lot of people are saying, wow, that guy's taking forever to shoot that ball. But all I'm seeing is the ball go into the bucket. I thought Bronny couldn't shoot. Everybody says he's going to be great on defense. He can jump obviously high, but his offensive efficiency not that great. Look at how many points he scored at USC. It's like, well, at the Combine just yesterday, we saw him bury 12 straight threes. Feels like he's going to be on a head start, too, to potentially get on a team because of who his dad is. So we're excited to kind of ask Windy in 7 minutes to tell us everything about everything. Obviously, the NBA had a great night of playoffs last night. We also have the amazing old bastard PK Subban joining us fresh off a birthday.
Wow.
He's had a full week to celebrate his birthday. ESPN let him not take work or not work for a week because he's celebrating a 35th birthday, I do believe, or something like that. So happy birthday to him. Paul Skenes will be joining us in the second hour, obviously to chit-chat about what he's doing in Pittsburgh, which is saving baseball potentially for an entire city that I think would love baseball if the team was worth a damn at all. Paul Skenes is coming back, bringing a little bit of magic. We'll chat with him in the second hour. And then Julian Edelman will join us in the third hour to talk roast, talk football, talk Tom, talk life, talk his podcast, Games with Names, which is obviously fantastic. And we're lucky to be here chit-chatting about NFL news, obviously, every single day. The Toxic Table is here. At Boston Connor, at Ty Schmidt. Man, no dogs today, just Bears.
Yeah, that's right. Bruins Bruins all day. I mean, yesterday, some fans wear their jerseys to prove to people that they're, fans of a team. Some fans wear them when it's actually game day. And obviously, I mean, you might not know because this is an old McAvoy jersey. I've had this for quite some time. He's got the A on his now. But, I feel great about where the Bruins are at. Down 3-1, backs against the wall. What's going to happen? We're going to find out tonight, but we know that the big rig is saying we got to win a hockey game, okay? So that's what we're looking for, and, the Celtics obviously took care of business easy last night.
Now, the Rangers were up 3-1 over the Canes, and obviously last night, now it's 3-2. Wait a second, New York.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, big city.
Not good.
Yikes.
You got the Pacers traveling to town, too. Big bad Wolves are coming to town. After winning by 40, you got the Rangers potentially going to blow a 3-1 series lead.
No way, they can't.
We were just talking a little bit ago, a couple weeks ago, or maybe last week, I guess. The Rangers are now going to be considered a team that started 7-0 in their playoff run.
Yeah.
There's been 11 teams in the history of the NHL that have started 7-0 in their playoff run. 8 of them would go on to win the Cup.
Oh, no.
3 of them would lose. Are the New York Rangers about to make that 4 out of 12 people that have gone 7-0? I saw a man named Jim Kelly last night. Okay, he's a bald guy. He used to work for the New York Police Department. Now he's part of security at WWE, and boy, he's riding high. With how good the Knicks have been. Indiana Pacers are killing him. How good the Rangers are. Hurricanes maybe turn this entire thing around. Jim Kelly and everybody else from that big suit city might be swallowing a couple, no's. If they ruin this entire run that was supposed to be fantastic and majestic, both on the ice and on the hardwood for New York, this Hurricanes team is not going to give up. And obviously, we got nothing but respect for this Rangers squad. I like the way they play. I like their toughness. I like their skill. I like how they've come around, and they're more experienced than they've ever been. And maybe this is the year they get going. But this Canes team ain't going to go down without fighting.
No way.
They ain't going to go down. They were the odds-on favorite to win the Stanley Cup starting the playoff series. I think they were reminded of that last night, especially in a back-against-the-wall, must-win situation. Now that series is at 3-2. Here we go. The only team that could potentially be a big dud in this particular series would be the Boston Bruins if they were to lose 4-1 to the Florida Panthers. But that obviously is going to change this evening, or will it? Ladies and gentlemen, 9-year NFL vet, massive Florida Panthers fan, has been for the entirety of his hockey fandom. Yep. Darius J. Butler.
1993.
That's right.
Here we go. Big game, big closeout game down at Sunrise. Reservations already made at Elbow Room. Big game. Talked to Moose yesterday. He talked about how important this Game 5 closeout game at home. So it'll be tough. Bruins will show up, I'm sure, but I got all the faith in the world in the boys.
I said the Bruins could be the only team that make it boring, but obviously Stars are up 3-1 over the Avalanche as well. Big night.
Texas hockey. Starting to feel like 99, boys. Starting to feel like 1999.
Wow, we got people taking real deep trips to celebrate something again.
A long time ago.
That is a long time ago. Not as long as you sorry asses up there in Detroit, though.
I know. One of those teams that started 7-0 actually lost to the Detroit Red Wings in 2008. Do you remember who that was, Pat?
Well, who was it?
I think it was the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Okay.
That's one of the teams?
No way. All right.
And
then what happened? There's been others.
And then what happened?
Yeah, then next year what happened? Hossa came and said, hey, you know what? This thing's all over. And then he went to your team, won. Then he went to Chicago, I believe. And
they won there, too.
So
he's a stud.
He's quite a miracle worker, that guy. One half of the hammer, Dahn. Cowboys, Tone Diggs back. Tone, we missed you yesterday. You look fantastic, pal.
Thank you,
Second best Cowboy hat on the program today.
Yeah, by far. Matt had his summer Cowboy hat on. I'm still wearing my felt winter because, temperature in here is always nice and perfect.
Cold, you said.
No, I said nice and perfect.
I like the way you described it.
I do owe a couple apologies to New York Rangers fans and Minnesota Timberwolves fan.
Yeah.
Since we did the better jump on the bandwagon.
Full announcement.
Yep. Neither of those teams have won. Okay? Those teams are completely defeated since we did the jump on the bandwagon. Don't miss the Yukon Huskies train. That kind of happens sometimes in sports gambling when you start talking about things too much. Those old gambling guys.
We're talking immediately afterwards.
Yep.
We're talking as soon as it was said, gambling god said, that's cute, and then changed fortune quickly from two different sports, two different cities, two different teams. All because of you, potentially.
Yeah, you have to say
that's you feel pretty good about yourself if you think you're the reason why two different sports, two different teams, two different cities between.
Well, you can't roll it out, can you? You can't completely roll it out, can you?
Not with these gambling gods, with the way they operate.
Like if Cowher was the one, doing the siren down in Carolina.
Who did do the siren?
Not sure. I would
the
give
head
him
coach
credit.
of the NC State rowing team, right?
Oh yeah, he got a good crew team.
And they came out. Boys were flying when they saw that.
John Sabowski did it.
Is that he doesn't know.
That's the head coach of the rowing team.
No, he's not there anymore. He went to
Harvard.
He went Duke.
Oh wow, he's moving up in the world. Then.
Yeah, I think so. Anyways, we didn't know who the hell was doing this thing. This is a playoff game.
Yeah.
Let's get Bill Cowher on that if we need it.
Exactly.
Especially if we need to knock off the evil New York Rangers for the good of everybody. You did ruin their fortunes potentially, but that can always change.
Yeah.
There could be another heater that we could potentially ride. Like for instance, the Boston Celtics. Are they all the way back? Have they figured it out? Are they going to go ahead and just murder everybody all the way through like they were supposed to do until they lost at home to Spida Mitchell a couple games ago?
Yeah, like that's the problem. It feels like, of course, they're going to stroll into the finals. But when you look back on it, it's like, okay, Heat without Jimmy Butler, Cavs missing Donovan Mitchell. It's not their fault, but it's just there is now no excuse. And, if it ends up being the Knicks, if it ends up being the Pacers, the Knicks are banged up, and then the Pacers, they also have kind of gotten a little lucky because the Knicks were banged up, and then Giannis and Jalen Brunson. So for both, Dame Lillard. So for both of those teams.
Dame Lillard played in the elimination.
Yeah, like Mitchell. Like he played a couple games, missed a couple, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. The Celtics are just knocking these people down as they come at them. Is it their fault that they're beating the shit out of everybody and that they're better than everybody? No. But people will definitely bash them because of how easy it has been.
The NBA feels like, at least in some situations, I guess, I can't just paint a full broad brush because I'm not paying attention close enough to everybody, but this is a war of attrition on the East.
Yeah.
If you can survive, if you can remain healthy, you're going to be in a good spot, which is why I think the Pacers are so damn, optimistic, and they feel very good about how they're playing right now, the health of their team right now. Obviously, there's people that are banged up. You're this late into, I see you at 82 and then now a full playoff run. Nobody's going to be at 100%, but it's like, who's the healthiest? Seems to be a massive advantage in the NBA playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
We need to keep an eye on that whenever we're gambling. For real.
Well, in the West.
Yeah, that's always the case in sports. Even, obviously, your Bruins are banged up. Hockey, baseball,
Marshawn's
football.
out again. You know that.
Yeah, I saw ruled out Game 5. It's tough, man.
Why?
You took a shot, playoff hockey shot. It is tough. I hate seeing guys get injured, and you want to beat teams at their best, but it's part of the game.
Joining us now is not in the NHL, and he is healthy. He's better than ever. We saw him this morning in his on clouds doing a full-on set. We couldn't hear everything he was saying, but he was saying that good shit. Ladies and gentlemen, friend of the program, ESPN legend, a man who played high school basketball with LeBron James, Mr. Windy, Brian Windhorst.
Yeah, Windy.
How are you, brother?
Hey, man, I just had a weekend in Indy, my first time in years.
Okay.
How was it?
So Indy was awesome on Saturday night. It was beautiful weather. There was some concert of a group I'd never heard of at the field house.
Come on.
We got prom was going on. We got dozens of very happy couples moving downtown, but we got something happened in downtown Indy since last time I was there. A big setback for the city in my mind. And I found out the hard way.
The bums?
Steak and Shake ain't open 24 hours anymore.
No way. That's not real. Is that real?
Downtown Steak and Shake. The heartbeat of the NBA beat writer for decades.
Oh, no.
Locked up.
Yeah.
I was set back. I'm still recovering from it. Okay, this is kind of
the booze bags of Indianapolis are kind of in shock as well about it. That used to be you go out downtown.
Yep.
And then you all just kind of take the pilgrimage to Steak and Shake, and that could be 2:30, 3:30, 4. I think Kyle Busch and I were in there at 4:45 a.m. one time.
Yeah.
Getting a nice burger, one of those melts. One of those melts with like Texas bread or whatever.
Yeah, you bet.
And then they got it in the fries with cheese.
Oh, yeah.
Two types of couples going to prom on Saturday night. There were the couples that were going into St. Elmo's.
Ooh.
They were in a good spot in life. And then there were the couples who filled Steak and Shake to the brim later on that night.
We like that group.
Those are the people I wanted to hang out with.
Yeah. But instead they were saying, no, Wendy, get your fat ass out of here. You can't come here at midnight.
Locked up.
That's unbelievable. Hey, Steak and Shake, enough. Okay, be who you are. You can't afford to be the people that close up at midnight in downtown.
Never.
We're supposed to host the biggest events. You know why we're able to do that? Not only because everything's connected and you can walk everywhere, but because Steak and Shake is serving smiles all day, all night. I'm mind blown, Wendy. I think you might have caught it on a bad night. Maybe some.
I saw it several nights. Listen, maybe on Saturday and Sunday, but they play Pacers games on non-Saturday. That's it. That's it. That's the one. Locked up tighter than a drum Thursday night when I got in there. Tighter than a drum.
There's a petition as far as booze bags in Indianapolis, and let me just say it was not received well, and they do close it now. It's bad.
We would like to apologize for that. Obviously, Wendy, by the next time you're here, we're going to find a cheap burger place that'll stay open all night for all of us.
That's what I want to hear.
Let's talk about some of the stuff that happened here. Obviously, when you were in town, the Pacers beat the shit out of the Knicks. The boys are going to ask you about that. That is a great thing. I like where we are as a city for a potential parade coming to town. Now, obviously, the West is doing its thing. Let's talk about the news that wasn't in the playoffs that happened last night. And it involves the family that SportsCenter's Instagram account has been kind of focusing on for the last 4 years. LeBron James goes back to the Cleveland Cavaliers. He's sitting courtside. Standing ovation. He's got a bottle of wine under him, some water, a coffee, having the night of his life. The city of Cleveland goes bananas for him. Well deserved. Just kid from Akron.
Hell yeah, bro.
Just kid from Akron. Well deserved. Now, obviously, after he left, there was some stuff between the ownership and him. I assume that's all the way. Why was he there? Do we know why he was there? Was he getting jersey retired or something, Wendy? What was going on there?
I will give you the answer I've been given, and you can decide whether you believe that. I was told that it was Mother's Day weekend. Actually, it was Monday, but okay, Mother's Day weekend, and Savannah and LeBron came back to Akron to see their moms, and so they were in town, so they took in a game. They were the guests of Dan Gilbert, the Cavs owner. The carpet was worn out. Now, here's the thing. So he gets there. I don't know anything about wine. I don't know if you guys are wine guys.
Opus One.
We're at Steak and Shake at 3 a.m., pal. Yeah, you know. Yeah.
I think that speaks for itself in terms of me. All right, there was a bottle of wine under his seat, and I saw it on Twitter X. It had something written on it. I need some sleuths. Well, I needed like that CSI where they go, enhance.
Yes.
Enhance, because somebody took a picture of it and you could see that was written. I want to know what was written on it, but there was a bottle of Opus One waiting for him. Here's the thing about LeBron. If you know anything about LeBron, the fastest way to piss him off is to be late. This is a man who is obsessively on time, but he was late, didn't make tip-off. He came in strategically, some might say it was traffic. I don't know, but came in during the first timeout so he could make a grand entrance.
No, I didn't.
Look at me.
He did it on purpose.
I love it.
Wendy, watch your mouth, Wendy.
Look at
you
me.
better watch what you're talking about the king, Wendy.
A king's entrance.
Yeah.
I was told that his agent, Rich Paul, called the Lakers earlier in the day and was like, hey, listen, just so you know, LeBron's going to be going to the Cavs-Celtics game tonight. No big deal. Just don't want you to be caught by surprise. 10 years ago, This is as I'm watching the game. Two things are happening as I'm watching the game. First thing, I'm thinking about 10 years ago when he was a member of the Miami Heat. He came to a Cavs game, flew over from Chicago on a private plane because his longtime teammate, Zydrunas Ilgauskas, was getting his jersey retired. It was an off night. The Heat had a game on Sunday afternoon. He flew over, and I was told at that time, doesn't mean anything. Just respect for his teammate. And a few months later, he signed there. Okay. The second thing that was going on was I was having NBA general managers text me back my own meme. Going, what's going on in Cleveland? What's going on in Cleveland? So while on one hand, I think LeBron is always strategic, and I do believe that he wants to remain a Laker. And I have been told that this was no big deal. He was just in town to see family. It does make you wonder because he knew that he would be on all the shows being today, wondering what was going on.
Well, he's LeBron James. Everything he does publicly is going to be talked about and speculated upon. Whenever you say LeBron James flew private, I think you just get rid of the... I don't know if he's going into
Southwest.
I don't know if he's going into any airports at this stage. Congratulations, by the way.
Good work, Bron.
Very expensive. Obviously, let's take care of the ozone. Let's take care of the ozone, this entire thing. Let's talk. Let's go a little bit deeper here. Now, he can opt out of his contract, obviously, with the Lakers. He has until June to do as such, I do believe, from our last conversation. What are the Cavaliers sitting in the draft? Because now, obviously, Shams Charania, a friend of the program, he's talking about how the Lakers have basically said they're okay with drafting Bronny if that's something, that would not only entice LeBron to stay, but also if it would make their team better. And obviously they know he went to USC, grew up in LA. It could be a perfect situation for both parties. I think he said second round or like late first. What are the Cavs draft situation? And is that falling into any of this thought process that you're having about LeBron getting a warm welcome back in Cleveland whenever his future is potentially still in question?
Well, first off, Bronny had a great day yesterday, the first day at the Combine. You know, we really hadn't seen him play for months. He shot the heck out of the ball. He didn't shoot well at all at USC. Shot terribly from three-point range. Now, granted, these are drills, but he really impressed scouts. He went 19 of 25, and this drill here was second best, and that was very impressive. Secondly, he has really added some weight. He probably played at USC 195, 197, weighed in at 210, and definitely had added muscle. He did measure in bare feet at 6'1.5". He was listed at 6'3" at USC. I don't think anybody actually believed he was 6'3". That's not like...
Yeah, you NBA people lie all the time. The NFL tries to make people as small as possible. The NBA is like, let's put 2 socks on, let's get some shoes on. Yep. We want them to think these guys are as big as possible. The NFL is like, we want them to be tiny. As tiny
well,
as
nobody in the NBA is 6'9". They're all 6'10". Nobody in the NBA is 6'11", except for Kevin Garnett. Always said 6'11", even though he's like 7'1". You know, nobody's 6'1". I'll bet you won't see one player in the NBA listed at 6'1". They're all 6'2", if not 6'3".
I love that. I love that. I wish we could do that in the NFL. I would have been 6'3" bombing balls. It would have been fantastic.
Yeah. But it was a really good day for him, and I think he is. You know, we'll see. Starting to do scrimmages tonight. I think he's trending towards getting drafted. Now, you asked me about the Cavs and the Lakers. The Cavs have the 20th pick, I believe, in the first round, 21st pick. Lakers have the 17th pick. I am not a draft expert. I am not going to sit here and BS you and tell you I've watched film and all these guys. To be honest with you, I got so much going on with the playoffs. Most of these guys who get drafted, I'm not going to have seen them play. I learn them when they do summer league and when they get to the NBA. I'm not going to.
We don't know any of these dudes. Alex Sar's guy's a beast.
First 5 guys. Never heard of any.
We don't have
seen. The guy who might get picked first, Valeri Nichushkin. I actually have seen him in person. That was a strange one-off. I'm not going to try to pretend like I'm a draft expert. That said, the experts I talked to think that there's a good chance Bronny's going to get drafted. I don't think he'll be a first-round pick unless somebody's making a move. But I'm also going to tell you that anybody who says they know what's going to happen with Bronny right now, they're just guessing. Teams don't know him. Teams haven't got a chance to hear from him. So this next week and then workouts over the next 3 months or the next 3 weeks, we're going to know more about him. You ask me that question in a month, I'll have a better answer for you. So, yes, the question is, like, does drafting Bronny might make you have a chance to get LeBron? Like, is that something the Cavs or another team would consider? So Rich Paul, his agent, is on the record. This is not whispered, sources said. Rich Paul, his agent, is on the record as saying that that's not the case, that they're going to try to get Bronny into a place where he can worry about his own career, that is not something that, you draft Bronny doesn't mean you're getting Bron, et cetera, et cetera. But I assume most of us are fathers, or some of us are fathers.
Hell yeah.
We know what LeBron has said. LeBron wants to play with his son. Now, I don't necessarily know if that's going to happen this year. I don't know if he would walk away from the team. I believe firmly he's going to end up back with the Lakers, and the Lakers are going to give him the contract he wants, and they're going to try to make a trade to improve the roster, and they might even draft Bronny. But we know LeBron wants to play with him. Whether or not it works out, I don't have an answer for you today. Let's just wait and see how things go.
Oh, Windy, you're supposed to give us unreasonable answers.
I know. All right, see you guys later. I'm sorry.
Hey, we'll see you at Steak and shit. Well, it's probably not even open.
No.
While I'm talking about Indiana problems, if the Pacers win 2 more games,
not a problem. Conference
finals in Indiana goes over Indy 500 weekend. I mean, what you guys are trying to get for hotel rooms, we're getting a little out of control here, folks.
Windy, there's 300,000 people coming to the city. It's Indy 500. There's 300,000 people coming, Windy.
All right. I've done this before. When the Cavs or when the Heat played the Pacers, I learned all these rules about Indy on Indy 500 weekend. The race ain't on TV. It's 1947. I don't understand why.
Yes!
The race aren't on TV. The race isn't on TV. Everybody listens on the radio. That's what I learned. Secondly, on Monday, apparently there's a 7-hour banquet with all the racers, and that is on TV. And if you want to watch the other NBA playoff game and you're in a bar, good luck. You got to wait till after the banquet is over.
No. So now that's on NBC, I do believe. So now it should be.
All right.
Now it should be where the rights are. But
no. They just did. No, it's not the channel. They wouldn't change it. They said no.
Okay.
The banquet stays on.
Well, Wendy, we need to hear from the person that came in third to last.
Yeah, of course.
The Indy 500. Their race ended quick. We didn't even get a chance to hear their sponsors. They got to get up there and talk about winning. You won $14,000. All right.
Wow. You paid for 2 nights at the Courtyard by Marriott.
All right, Wendy. Let's talk about the playoffs, shall we? And let's stick with that particular series. Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, Wendy, in terms of Mavs and
I'm sorry.
Thunder.
I'm sorry. Yeah, it's on me. Yeah.
Nope, all good. It seems like for whatever reason, Kyrie and Luka are not on the same page, or in terms of like neither one of them are both having a good night on the same night. Last time you were on here, you said Luka, you were a little bit worried about whether or not he's actually 100%. I think it's fairly obvious that he's not. Are we concerned now at this point? Because after the last game, it looked like, hey, Mavs, they're going to be just fine. They're going to take care of the Thunder. But now that's kind of turned a little bit. Do you expect the Mavs to, Kyrie and Luka to both play well on the same night? And are they going to be able to take care of the Thunder, or the Thunder, potentially going to run away with this one?
Well, I thought so. They were up like 6 or 7 points at home in the fourth quarter last night. I mean, what's the chances of the Thunder going on that run to end the game? Now, I have big respect for the Thunder. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is a killer in clutch time situations. He did it to him again last night. Luka is not playing well. He had more turnovers than baskets last night.
Ooh.
He was grabbing at that right knee the whole game. It also has to do with Lou Dort. Lou Dort put Brandon Ingram through hell in the first round. He is putting Luka through it now. That said, nobody's stopping Luka if he's right. Like, even if you got a great defender and you're putting on the help defense, Luka, I think it's a combination of great defense from the Thunder and Lou Dort as ahead of that, and Luka's just not right. And even Kyrie. Here's something else. The Thunder are kind of baiting the Mavericks into passing the ball to their role players, and the Mavericks are kind of taking the bait. PJ Washington, he's been making all these shots, and it's been awesome. He's been celebrated. But last night, he had 19 shots, and Kyrie had 11. That's a win. I mean, obviously the Thunder had some egg on their face when he was making them in games 2 and 3, but they didn't change their strategy. They stuck with it. They're focusing on those two guys. If they're going to get beat, they're going to get beat by the role players. And it didn't work last night. At the end of the game, they couldn't get a basket when they needed it. Chet Holmgren, beast inside. The Mavericks are 1 of 14 shooting when he's the defender last night. So, I think the Mavericks at their top end are the better team, but I don't know about Luka. He looked bad in game 1, looked much better in 2 and 3, and then last night was back down again. And so I don't have a feel for this series. But I know that I thought this was 3-1. I was ready to go to bed being 3-1, and the Thunder pulled out 2-2.
The video coming out of the Mavs walking to their locker room, they felt it as well, like you did. The last time you came on the show, you thought you said something about Luka not being able to hit that step back, and then he came out and he did. Yeah. It's like that injury seems to be wearing on him. And you talked about PJ Walker. He was Dallas's leading scorer once in the regular season. He has been Dallas's leading scorer in each of the last 3 games. Okay, damn. Dallas hasn't had a 30-point scorer in any game this series yet, and that's from Hembo. So literally, as you're mentioning, like role players getting the rock, it feels like that's a stat that kind of paints that picture perfectly. And you've said a couple times now, I don't know. Hey, Wendy, we're gonna need you to start knowing. Okay, that's why you're here. You're the big brain from Omaha. That's what we got going on. Connor's got a question for you about Boston.
Yeah, Brian. Obviously, the Celtics are kind of rolling right now, but one guy missing, Porzingis, is someone that everyone in Boston's looking for as far as hopes to win the entire thing. Are there any updates on him? Can we expect him to possibly play in the Eastern Conference Finals, or is this going to be something that if the Celtics, hopefully when they make the finals, he may be able to join them for that run of games in that series?
Confident Indy guys asking about the next round opponent. I see what you're talking about.
Well, not that Steak and Shake is closing up. We might have lost our grit and our jam here in this city. I didn't know that.
Also, the Pacers suck. I love the Celtics.
Okay, that's right. I'm sorry. I apologize.
All good.
We're revved up.
All right. So
I was revved up. You guys were revved up.
So Al Horford has played center in this series against the Cavs, and he's done pretty well, but he's wearing down a little bit. I thought he showed some wear last night against Evan Mobley. So first off, Porzingis was never playing in this series, and I'd kind of be surprised if he starts the conference finals, which could start either Sunday or next Tuesday, depending on what happens with Pacers-Knicks. So I don't think Porzingis is going to be ready for the start of the conference finals. The question is, do the Celtics need him? They might, because the Pacers play high tempo. And if the Pacers win this series, they're really deep. That may give Boston a little bit of an issue, because I just don't know if Horford can play as a starter this many minutes. But Boston,
especially with Miles Turner doing what Miles Turner's doing. Miles Turner's doing windmill dunks in the paint, in traffic.
And windmill threes.
Forget about that. Chase down blocks at one game 3, buddy. Like, that was his moment, his best moment as a Pacer. Like, that should be immortalized on a banner outside Steak and Shake when I get back to town on Friday.
Immortalized? It's the second round, Windy.
Well, listen,
it was a big play.
How have the Pacers done? How have the Pacers done since 2000? We haven't seen too many.
Shut up, Whitney. Shut up. You know, the last time you were in town is when Miami was, Indy 500. I learned about it when Miami was in town. Yeah, we didn't have the Heatles, okay? We didn't change basketball forever. We just happened to meet them in the Eastern Conference Final back-to-back years. That's what the Pacers have done since 2000. And I was in building for those. And feels like the city's back behind.
Truly.
Back behind the Pacers in a big way. Speaking of that particular series, Tone has a question for you.
Yeah, Windy, there is an ugly head that keeps coming back for Tibbs coach teams, and that is injuries late in the season and in the playoffs, and it's happened to the Knicks this year and everyone knows Tibbs likes his guys to play hard and play a lot of minutes. What is the talk around the NBA circles about? Is this another situation where Tibbs is getting blamed for this, or is it just bad luck? And how's the NBA feel about the injury situation in New York?
Yeah, there's some chirping about it because, the Knicks' defense for all the minutes is like, well, our guys are hurt. And that's true. Like, they definitely are missing some guys. But the OG Anunoby's injury probably changed this series. Now, the Knicks can still – it's a 3-game series. The Knicks have 2 of them at home. If the Knicks win this series, it's not at all surprising. But OG Anunoby going out changed the course of this series. And OG went out, in my view, because of overuse. He had played the last 4 games before he blew out his hamstring. He played the most minutes of any 4 games in his career. And that injury, look, I'm not an athlete, I'm not a doctor, but he was running down the floor and his hamstring popped. That's a use thing, I think. And so that you can't look at Tibbs and say that that's not a factor. That said, these guys love Tibbs so much. I don't know if I've ever seen a team, if I have, it's very small number, where the players have such an appreciation for the coach and a respect for the coach and what he wants, and they want to do it. It's really kind of awesome to see. It's why the fans in New York love this team so much. If they're going to go down, I swear, to a man, if they're going to go down and it's the way Tibbs wants to play, I think they're willing to go down. The one thing I will say, obviously on Sunday when they had 36 hours between games, the Knicks just didn't have it. Huge advantage Pacers. So that's why I would say if the Knicks are going to win, the Knicks got to win 5 and 6. Because Sunday, it's 36 hours again. It's Friday night, and then they play Sunday afternoon for Game 7. The Knicks get a break because of Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is her first assist is to the Knicks, and she's got Gainsbridge Fieldhouse on Thursday.
Oh, shut up, Whitney.
Okay. The Fever got the arena on Thursday night. You ain't moving that booking, so they get 2 days off between games 5 and 6. So the Knicks get to play tonight at home. Huge, huge moment. One of the biggest games they've had in the Garden in 20 years. That's no lie. I was joking about the Pacers. Knicks can't hold a candle to what the Pacers done the last 20 years, 25 years. That's the truth.
Amen.
So, and then they get 2 days off between now and Game 6. I don't like the Knicks' chances on a short turnaround Game 7, even in the Garden. So if the Knicks are going to do it, if the Pacers get this to 7, I think they got a good chance. Obviously, if they have a chance to clinch at home on Friday, they're home. Great opportunity. But the Pacers can get tonight's game and give themselves either a chance to clinch at home or a chance to play the Knicks on a 36-hour turnaround. It comes down to everything in tonight, really does.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch tonight. And I feel like the Pacers are buzzing, and they won't have Dale Davis in that IndyCar revving it up beforehand.
No.
But you get back
He didn't look comfortable in that car. I'm not going to lie to you.
We all had the same reaction, but we were pumped he was there. We were pumped he was there. All right, last question for me, and then D-Butt got one that I think you're going to, maybe send some ripple effects across the entire sports media.
Oh
Sham
Let me get some
Charania.
water.
You got booze in there? You said it's water? That's classic what booze bags would say.
It's Opus One.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, you and LeBron started in high school and you guys were on the same team.
Yeah.
Sham Charania just reported on FanDuel TV that Coach K has been hanging around the Los Angeles Lakers and secretly consulting with the Lakers in their coaching search. And then obviously the ties with JJ Redick because he's co-host with LeBron, and that Mind the Game podcast is potentially just one big interview from LeBron to JJ Redick where they can draw up plays together and maybe do it. What do you know about Coach K being around? And does that directly mean that JJ Redick with his backward ass hat is going to be the head coach of the Lakers next year?
That is the first I've heard of that, but JJ is absolutely a legitimate candidate for that job, and for a whole number of reasons, whether it's Coach K making the suggestion or not. Rob Pelinka, the general manager of the Lakers, when he was an agent, he successfully recruited a number of Duke players. So in addition to LeBron's relationship with Coach K, there was a lot of players that Mike Krzyzewski said, I would recommend you sign with Rob Pelinka. That relationship's been around for a long time. So that doesn't surprise me, even though I wasn't aware of it. But JJ is absolutely a legitimate candidate for the job. He is a coworker of mine here at ESPN. I have immense respect for his basketball knowledge and everything. We've had lots of conversations, behind the scenes. And if he wants to be a head coach, I have no doubt that he could be a very good head coach. This is a very hard job to take. Play an old team with high expectations in the Western Conference, where, quite frankly, even if you had Red Auerbach in his prime, well, he'd never coached the Lakers. Let me take that back.
Thank you.
If you had, Mike Krzyzewski in his prime, it doesn't matter what coach you had. It'd be very difficult to be successful. But one of the things that I've learned in 20 years covering the NBA is very few people can say no to the power of the Lakers. And so I think, they're going to interview other candidates for sure. James Borrego, who's a very experienced coach with a great background, I think would be a very strong candidate. But look, I can understand why the Lakers would have interest in JJ. I can understand why JJ would have interest. And that would not surprise me at all if that's the direction it went.
Is he playing for him too? If he
might, Jackie Moon.
Has LeBron not needed his
another shooter.
Mike Miller? Has he not needed the? And coach is just over there, clipboard down.
It is illegal for it to be a player coach in today's NBA.
Oh, you know what, Silver? Enough.
That's dumb.
If a guy wants to coach, play, and own a team, let him Jackie Moon his ass off out there.
Now,
last question here from D. Butch to you, Wendy.
Wendy, speaking of some of your co-workers, we had Austin Rivers on a couple weeks ago asking about the Heat potentially moving on and getting another star. And we heard another report coming from ESPN yesterday about Durant not being happy in Phoenix. Any possibility Durant heads down to South Beach and plays for the Heat next season?
So to be clear, I have not heard anything like that. The other thing I'll say is
which part did you not hear anything like?
I have not heard anything about the Heat and Durant in a legitimate capacity. Certainly, if you could, you could speculate, but I just want to be clear. The other thing I would say is the big thing for the Heat. Jimmy Butler is eligible for a contract extension. He's got 2 years and $100 million left on his contract. He is 35 years old. He missed a whole bunch of games this year. He wants the extension. Now, if the Heat don't want to give the extension, which is what Pat Riley implied heavily in his end-of-season press conference, is Jimmy cool with that? Because the last time he wasn't happy with his contract, he was with the Minnesota Timberwolves. He asked for a trade. So that's one thing. I don't know what he's going to do, but that is a big factor that a lot of teams are watching. Secondly, the Phoenix Suns have come out and said, the owner, Matt Ishbia, on the record, that he doesn't intend to trade any of his big three. First off, Bradley Beal has a no-trade clause. So the Suns are out there on the record. This isn't sources said or anything. They don't intend to trade those guys. So the only way you could see action there is if it was player-initiated. So we'll keep an eye on that. But as far as I'm aware, there's none of that going on. But certainly, that is something to keep an eye on because obviously it was a disappointing season in Phoenix.
It's the NBA, too. That seemingly is how every offseason is.
Yep.
All of a sudden, you see some clips from a rap concert. There's a couple NBA guys dancing in the crowd. And then 2 days later, holy shit, at that concert, a trade was negotiated. Yeah. It's like, what, in between songs? Yeah, right before the encore. Yeah, that's whenever it
Actually, it was negotiated steak and shake after the game.
Well, not in Indiana anymore. What the hell's going on? Are you coming back here for Friday's game, yeah?
I'll be back there on Friday.
Hey, we can't wait to see you. Come down and say hello. I think we'll be where you're in the. I don't even know where the hell you would. Are you in? Is there a media area? I assume. Where do you guys? I don't know.
Yeah, and trust me, in the back. Were you gonna come to a game, and didn't come, or did you come to a game? Because I was in the back, and there was all this whispering. John Mellencamp.
Yeah. John Mellencamp was there.
Yeah. Yes, he was.
I saw him. He was right to my right. He had really cool boots on.
Hair
was perfect.
Yep.
And then he had a toothpick in his mouth whenever they showed him up on the jumbotron.
He had a cougar jacket on.
Like a leather.
Yeah, I think he did.
Yeah, with cougar on the back of it.
Yeah. And pink houses right across the wall.
Yep, exactly.
Living.
Were they talking about
so
that?
when you show up, they're going to clear out the path for you.
Well, that's not true. Actually, there's a guy named Ron that was a photographer who's been there for 20 years who's actually sitting in my lap the entire time. But it was worth it. Guy gave me full play-by-play for everything. It was I had a wonderful time.
Yeah, the instant replays on the camera.
Yeah, Tyrese gave me his seats Mother's Day. It all came together last second. I didn't know how to play on a Mother's Day, to be honest with you.
Sure.
I had no idea what to do.
You took Brenda Halliburton's seats on Mother's Day? You took Brenda's seats?
Easy.
No, actually, my wife, who is also a mother, was sitting next to Brenda Halliburton.
Okay, cool.
Brian.
Oh, Wendy, aren't you a hero?
Yeah.
Aren't you just a hero, Wendy?
Listen, I love the Halliburtons. We bonded overseas in Abu Dhabi and Manila last year. I just want to make sure they're taken care of.
Tanner was over there. Great conversation. I mean, it was a blast. I had an absolute, Sam just saw, she just spilled her drink. Yep, that's what's happening right there. Sam just kicked her Red Bull vodka down.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it got on the photographer's ass in front of us.
Well.
Almost got onto the court. It was a full scene. It was awesome.
Which one's Ron? Gray hair?
Yeah, Ron's, the one right in front of me. Yeah, that was him. He had great shots the entire time. To be honest, I didn't turn around once. I didn't look anywhere. I literally was just locked in having a good time.
You were focused. Yeah. You were locked in.
Yeah, we had to win. We're up by 30. You never know. You don't want to give that up in the NBA playoffs, especially in Cambridge now. It's all the way back. Hey, Wendy, thank you for joining us, man. Have a safe travel back to our wonderful city.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
Hey, Steak and Shake might open up just for you from the traction I'm seeing on
the
internet.
Maybe for you, not for me, but for you, they would.
No, for you, when you just put them on blast. I think, I'm assuming this Steak and Shake's manager is going to be like, need to get Wendy in here for.
Yeah.
What's your order there, Wendy? Do you know?
You know what? I hadn't been to Indy since 2018. I don't remember, but that was our go-to. So, like, we know. I was just a little surprised when I arrived, and it was all the lights were all on. But the door was locked. I didn't even know that door had a lock on it.
Yeah, well, there was some stuff that happened a few years back that every door in the city had to get locks, a lot of them.
I see.
Yeah, it was, actually, very pumped to see Indy back. There was a chance for like 2 years, there was a thought maybe the city's dead because of everything that was happening downtown and the stoppage of, because we host events. Like, I would assume the future farmers of America aren't happy that Steak and Shake.
Definitely not.
And the firefighters that come every single year aren't happy about the Steak and Shake.
I've been to Indy during the firefighter convention.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they take over.
I've been to Indy during it.
And they drink every
Oh yeah,
they get after
every drop of booze
in the town.
Yeah.
So Steak and Shake might have had an overwhelming amount of mustaches come in there one night and say, "I can't do this anymore." So our city's all the way back. We're very thankful for that, and I think the Pacers are leading a great party. Same with Caitlin Clark. Can't wait for that. And if you're here for the Indy 500, we need to get you out there. You need to get on the track.
Pace car.
You need to get in the in the pace car maybe.
I think they're looking for
I ain't doing that. I'll watch, but I ain't getting in that car. You must be crazy. I'm not doing that.
Ladies and gentlemen, Brian Windhorst. I like Wendy's sass.
He's the man.
The best.
He's got good pizzazz.
He
Great
does.
pizzazz.
You know, like that's like the perfect thing for him.
It is.
Because that is kind of.
That took over.
And then he even said, we'll keep an eye on it today. I don't know for sure. Well, you just said, I had not heard. Just wants to kind of clear the palate real quick.
Yep.
What other people are saying, I have not heard personally. He's not really an insider.
No.
He's not really a pundit.
No.
He's just like an analyst.
Yeah. Analyst, journalist, covers the game.
Just knows ball.
Does he write too?
I believe so,
yeah.
He
He started as a
Cleveland Plains dealer.
Yeah.
Yep.
Great writer.
Yeah.
Wrote 2 books.
And they're like, wow, this guy's got so much pizzazz. We need to put him on camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't just let his words be doing all the speaking for this guy. We need his mouth to do it.
Exactly.
Thank you, Wendy.
Yep.
Great person.
Boy, Wendy. Ohio guy.
He was kind of. You remember he had a great high school run alongside LeBron and the boys.
That team was just so good.
What's that?
Wing backcourt.
Yeah, he's 3. He was 3.
I mean, he tells you,
Shooting,
1 to
shooting
5,
forward.
baby.
Well, every once in a while too, when they played, they took on the Moon Township, the Moon Tigers,
the Moon,
and it was Wendy versus AQ Shipley. So he was playing 5 that day. I mean, it was that was a lot of sweat, a lot of meat.
Still talk about the dent in the floor beneath the net after those two went to war.
Yeah, AQ and Wendy went up for one of those shots that just like rebound, rebound.
Yeah.
Those two were jousting like King Kong and Godzilla.
Yep. Bingo.
Down, bang, down, bang, down, bang.
Right.
They each recorded 1.5 rebounds.
Yep. Then jump ball.
Yeah, and then they both jump and boom. You know how they say like backboards break?
Yeah.
This one, the actual floor.
Yeah, like when
Because
Zion.
Wendy and AQ were meeting in the middle.
Yeah.
It was a good battle. Now, obviously, the Irish won.
Yeah,
they had
of course.
AQ was taken out by Wendy. I love Wendy. He's become very good on our show.
Yeah, he's the man.
Could we have ever guessed that? I don't think so. I don't think that would have been in our predictions for ESPN licensing. Who is somebody that joins our show that we will like a lot? Wendy. I did not expect him to be the one.
Unfortunately, Ohio people do tend to do well on the program, and he is an Ohio guy.
Yeah, deep down.
It's true.
Yeah.
Austin Rivers also. I would not have guessed that one.
Yeah, I like
he
Austin.
is awesome.
Yeah, he stirs shit.
Yeah, he is the man.
So what?
And he doesn't care.
He went to Duke too. He's got all that Duke pride.
Oh yeah.
Did I
Jerry
see there was a
Seinfeld.
Texas guy back on the show yesterday?
Kendrick Perkins.
Yeah.
Yeah, Perk was
Big
back.
Perk was back.
He's working a lot. Him coming here every week would have been
a nightmare.
Very impossible for him.
Yeah.
When that was agreed to, I am very thankful for it, but that felt like that was quite a big expectation.
Bit of a stretch.
Yeah, I don't. With how much he's on TV in LA and in New York and in Texas where he lives, it's like that would have been a lot. So hopefully we'll be able to make something happen in the future. But they're working his ass off. Speaking of working his ass off, maybe he's back because he's another year older. Ladies and gentlemen, friend of the program, guy who played professional hockey for
13 to 14 years.
Can't do the Wikipedia counting; it's a little bit difficult.
So weird.
Ladies and gentlemen, PK Subban. Hey, are you doing TV again, or are we taking a month off because we turned another age, or what's going on? Oh no!
Oh, he muted himself.
Oh no! Yeah, we can't hear you.
Hold on.
There you go.
Can you hear me now? I know you can hear me. Stop messing with me. I know you guys can hear me.
But we couldn't.
100%.
But we couldn't though. So we could have actually did that, But now we can hear you, and it's too soon to the last time we did this. Too soon the last time we did this. We won't do it again.
Pat, hold on. I got you on the TV here, so I had it muted so that when you guys called me, you couldn't hear yourself in the background.
Oh,
so
see, you're a professional. You're a professional. You work in this thing, do you? Is that happening again? Are we working again? Or what's going on?
I am working again.
Hey, here we go, PK. Picking up another shift. PK picking up a couple shifts. Here we go. Get back on the ice. Here we go, PK.
Come on now,
Get
PK.
back on TV.
Hey,
Tatum. All right. Sightseeing tour's over. We had a birthday party. Okay, now we're back on TV. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, PK.
Yep, it was great. We appreciate you. Okay, you're back on TV. Good. The NHL playoffs are cooking.
Yep. I'm ready to go.
What'd you do for your birthday? You just went and saw every game that you get free tickets to?
It was an insane week. I mean, for a week that I took off from working, I don't know if I've watched that much sports in a week. I went Knicks Monday, Rangers Tuesday, Knicks Wednesday, Celtics Thursday in Boston, Bruins Friday in Boston.
Oh, wow.
Saturday, watched both games on TV. Sunday, drove back home. Monday, went to the Rangers game. So I've been all in.
That's a hell of a week.
Wow. And the Boston teams lost both games.
Yeah, and that could be because you were there. What is the what was your favorite? What was your favorite atmosphere? Is it going to be easy to judge or tough to judge here? You'll probably say they were all great. But that's a hell of a week of playoff sports there in a lot of dream moments back to back to back. What a week you had, PK.
Yeah, MSG's just tough to beat. This time of year, New York has been going absolutely bonkers over Rangers and Knicks. So every time I step into that building, it feels like the Stanley Cup final in there every single time the Rangers play. And as it should be. I mean, why wouldn't you be excited about being a New York City fan right now of sports? So they're being spoiled this offseason. I think they're going to be spoiled even more because I think The Knicks are going to continue. I think the Rangers are going to last a little bit longer, but if not, go all the way this year. So I'd be excited to be in New York if I was a New York Rangers or Knicks fan for sure.
Yeah, the Knicks are dead. We know that. So we don't even have to talk about that, but we'll talk about hockey. Yeah, Knicks are dead.
Not yet.
Huh?
Not yet. They're not dead yet.
The hoop's this big for Tyrese Halliburton right now. And Miles Turner's throwing up shots from like half court, and they're full. I mean, the hoop's bigger right now for the Pacers, and
hey, it's coming back to New York, right?
Yeah, it's back in that Mecca that you talked about.
Okay, yeah. We'll see how that game goes.
Okay, well, Friday we're back in Gainbridge out here in Indiana. Windiana is going to be here, Ryan, Windiana. Let's talk about that Rangers team, though. Are you worried? Are you a little bit worried here now? They could have put the game away. Instead, they let the Hurricanes, who are a very, very good program, kind of get back in this thing. Now, all of a sudden, it's 3-2 in the series. Carolina Hurricanes got to feel like they have momentum. Is this going to be a tough one to close out, or are you very comfortable with the New York Rangers? You just said yes, but is there any worry to potentially be had here if you are in the Rangers dressing room?
Well, I said earlier on your show, Pat, that if Carolina, didn't win Game 3, that they might as well start planning some golf trips. And I still believe that. I still believe that the Rangers are going to win this series. I think that's a very, very tall mountain to climb. Can Carolina do it? You're damn right they can do it, especially if they played the way that they played last night. They dominated the last 2 games. But I think if you are a New York Rangers fan, you need to listen very, very carefully. I think it's a bigger issue, them going into the Eastern Conference Final, having swept the first-round team and then kind of making quick do of the second-round team. This adversity is good for the New York Rangers. They need to elevate their intensity level. They need their desperation level to get elevated because I'm going to tell you, whether it's Carolina or it's the Florida Panthers, the hockey from here on in, it's desperation. Like every game, every shift matters now. There's no freebies. Washington was a quick tune-up round for them. That's not going to happen the rest of the playoffs. So Carolina right now is finding their game. They're finding goaltending. I still think Igor Shesterkin's going to steal a game, and I think it's probably going to be the next one. They're going to need his help in Carolina. But I think for the Rangers, it's exactly what the doctor ordered. They needed a punch in the gut. They need a smack in the face. They need to wake up and realize they got to play their best hockey every night. And they weren't the best team on the ice last night, but I still think it's their series to lose.
Okay, calloused up a little bit for them. Now, speaking of calluses, go ahead, Conman.
Yeah, PK, obviously it's been tough sledding since the last time we talked to you with the Boston Bruins. And now with Brad Marchand missing his second straight game, obviously it does not look good. You mentioned Igor stealing the game, probably going to need Swayman to do that. What were your thoughts on the Bennett hit on Marchand after seeing the other angle here that they got 2 days later, allegedly, the NHL, and that's why there was no suspension or anything? But what did you think about that? And then what do you think the Bruins need to do with no Marchand tonight again to get the job done and extend the series to Game 6?
Well, fans need to stop complaining, first of all.
Thank you, PK.
That'll never happen.
Thank you.
That'll never happen.
Hold on a second. Let me complain. If someone's going to complain, let me complain.
Thank you,
Thank you,
PK.
PK. Hero.
Shut up, T-Bud.
People need to stop. Enjoy the hockey. The hockey is fantastic. There's nothing wrong with the officials. They're not going to make every call. They're going to miss some calls. I like the no call on Bennett. I do. I like it because I didn't think Swayman could make that save. I watched it. I was sitting directly behind Jeremy Swayman. I'm going to get to the Marchand in a second.
Okay.
But on that goal, when Sam Bennett scored, that's a great call by the officials. Great judgment call. So I like what the officials are doing. Every game, there's going to be controversial calls. Fans need to stop complaining. Let me do the complaining if anybody's going to complain. Brad Marchand has gotten over on players since he's come in the league. There's been more moments of Brad Marchand getting over on players than guys getting over on him. This is an instant where a player gets over on him, and you know what? It's a part of playoff hockey. That's the game within the game. Not everything needs to get called. Listen, whether it's on purpose or not, some days you're the hydrant, some days you're the dog, some days you're the windshield, some days you're the bug. That's just the way the game goes. And not everything needs to get called. I don't want to be ticky-tacking all the time, making sure that the refs are human. They're not going to see everything. So fans need to stop complaining. stop complaining and just enjoy it. I got no problem with the officiating right now.
Okay, you just got to get yours more than you get got, though. I understand you're saying that, but how about this Bruins team without him? Are they in? Yeah, okay. You're worried. We're a bit worried for the boys up there in the beach.
I am. I like the way Pasta and the guys showed up last game to play, but I just think if you saw Florida, there's no panic in their game. This is a team that's poised and understands what's being asked of them to get to that next round and ultimately reach their goal of winning a Stanley Cup. These guys, there's no moment that's going to get too big for this team. I think they're prepared for it. And I know that for them, there's no option. They got to close this thing out now. You got to put Boston to bed, get some extra days rest. I know Sam Bennett missed some time. You got some other bodies, some other guys that you need to get back, making sure that they're healthy and they're rested for that next round, because going up against the Rangers, you're going to need anything. If it's them or Carolina, you're going to need all your players. You're going to need to be healthy. And that's my only question with Florida is, are they going to be healthy when they get to the next round? They got to be healthy.
Florida Panthers fans are certainly confident. Now, we're coming up on a hard out, so we do need to ask you about something that happened yesterday, seemingly out of nowhere.
Yeah, PK, what the hell's going on with Nichushkin in Denver? It seems like, is that something where that situation is kind of why they have just completely fallen apart against the Stars? Or do you know more information about that? He's suspended for what, a long time?
6 months.
Yeah, long time. And no one really knows what the hell's going on. A lot of people speculating, though.
Well, the NHL has been diligent and pretty swift in taking care of this situation. And the first and foremost, it's sad when you see something like that, because talented player, this guy's got 9 goals in the playoffs. He's a key cog in that wheel that turns in Colorado. For that team to be a Stanley Cup championship team, he was a big part of the reason why they won the Cup a few years ago. It's an important piece to their team. Is this the end of the Colorado Avalanche's run? Well, it looks like they're going to need every piece that they possibly have in that organization against Dallas, the way Dallas Stars are playing right now. But it's just really sad to see that the most important time of the year, as a hockey player, this is what you dream about, is playing in these moments. And, to have these issues come up during the playoffs, it just sucks, because this is the ultimate time to be a part of your brotherhood, right? It's the most unselfish time of the year, right? It's a selfless time. And, but when you have issues, you have issues. And I hope for him, that he gets the help that he needs, because he's too good of a hockey player, too important to Colorado. And we'll see what happens. But there's no question at this time of the year, there's guys dying to get into the lineup, an opportunity to play, and you got to be responsible off the ice. So I don't have all the ins and outs of the story, but for the NHL to come down that quickly and swiftly, this is obviously something that's happened before. So I just wish Valeri Nichushkin the best. I hope he gets the help that he needs and we see him back on the ice soon.
Me too. See you next hour.
And we are in a conference room in a hotel that is the home of the annual league meeting. It is wonderful down here in Florida. Jim Harbaugh was showcasing to me why he doesn't like the hip drop tackle. He was actually wrapping his massive arms around me and then saying, this is what we're trying to get out.
Jim Harbaugh's rules, this is his business card that he gave me.
Jim Harbaugh's rules to live by. You guys are drafting Caleb Williams #1 overall.
We'll see.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Woo.
You did it. When RG3 comes out, you heard it. Yeah. Okay.
I think accuracy, is the #1 trait that NFL quarterbacks need to have.
So Penix.
Ooh. Okay.
I think accuracy is the #1
Okay.
trait that
Didn't
say no.
Easy, K. Don't give anything up. Hey, you got a lot of leverage right now.
I'm not sure if you know this or not, but you guys are taking wide receiver in the first round, is what I'm being told, and everyone.
Hey, congratulations for doing that.
Good class for it.
Way to go.
Just the first round?
Whoa. Got 11 picks.
I thought the most impressive thing about it was a lot of people had the sense that this was going to happen, and not one person uttered it. It was a completely respect-driven thing for Aaron to let him do it the way he needed to and wanted to, because he deserved that.
Obviously, I had nothing to do with the offense, but I made sure I had a conversation with Jameis every day, just for myself. It was like self-motivation.
Are you a bobcat or a deer girl?
Boom. Okay. That's good news.
I think that was like a deer, guys.
1, 2, 3, all locked, you think?
I don't know that yet.
Ooh. No.
Who could jump up there? Who could pack it?
Caleb Williams, I agree with at 1. Okay. My guess would be Jaden Daniels at 2. And 3, there has been a lot of Drake May conversation. Here's the thing. These things,
Shafty,
they just change.
sounds like you know more than what you're leading on right now.
Do I think they'll ultimately stay and make the pick at 3? My guess would be yes.
Fucking thank God, Jesus Christ.
If it's going to cause you that much agita, I'm going to definitely see if I can find out some more stuff that will give you more heart palpitations.
Shafty!
You don't need to be a prick. I just want a quarterback so I can root for football again.
Feels like that's probably the case. Conman's got a question for you. Right?
Yeah, Shefty. Excuse me.
Oh, no.
What? I am so. I am so sorry.
You know what? That's okay. I don't hold it against you.
Can you kick one of those shoes up here?
It says rap sheet. I'll get your kids on there too. That's pretty sweet.
We went to Venice and they had an artist draw it on it.
In Italy?
Ladies and gentlemen, Mark Cabal.
Oh no! Stop laughing, Gump.
Well, it's a tough chair.
It's a good chair.
Ready, 1, 2, 3, jump.
Got an ACL.
Schultz, I'm gonna be honest. I thought we were out of here, but that.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey,
Why?
let's go.
This show sticks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for. The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, you pig! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Sport! Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this fast-talking Tuesday, May 14th, 2024. Hour 2 of the program starts now. Sports are amazing. We love them. We get to talk about them every single day. A lot of things have happened around the sports world today that we get to chat about, and it is an absolute honor to do so. It's not just me, obviously, standing here, sitting here, maybe halfway smoking some sage, having the time of my life. There's a group of men around me that are just an absolutely stellar group. Ladies and gentlemen, Talks Tables here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. Ty, how's it feel sitting next to Connor? Been a little bit of tension out of this guy recently.
Yeah, a little bit of good, genuine heat, but I love it. I love it, especially as someone whose team's already been eliminated. You can kind of just sit back and watch the chaos as two guys just rip each other's throats out. It's kind of enjoyable.
Yeah, the other guy you're talking about is a Florida Panther fan, 9-year NFL vet, and super hockey fanatic.
Oh, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Darius J. Butler.
Huge hockey guy. Huge. Excited to see who's going to be on the drum tonight.
Yeah, you're right. Who is going to be on the drum tonight?
I don't know. Jalen Ramsey was on there last time. We got a big win. We'll see who's on there. It'll be a Dolphin player, I'm sure.
Tyreek Hill.
Should be Hulkster.
He might break.
Hulkster and Sunrise? Does he have any connection to South Florida?
Hulkster is a Go Bolts fan. He's a Tampa Bay Lightning fan.
Yeah, but if you ask the Hulkster to come bang the drum, he's going to do it.
Bingo.
That's one half of the hammer. Cowboys, Tone Diggs. We don't know if he's able to do it because we do know that Monday Night Karaoke took place yesterday. I think today is cleanup for that. So
probably right.
Not 100% sure if Hulk Hogan is able to bang the drum. We will keep an eye out on the pre-puck drop festivities. Joining us now from Natick in Ohio is a man who actually has family ties to the NHL playoffs, but he rarely talks about it.
Never.
His brother-in-law actually was quoted.
He was.
After the situation that happened in Colorado. Ladies and gentlemen, college football national champion, Super Bowl champion, Ryder Cup winner, president of Ohio, AJ Hawk. AJ, Jack Johnson was quoted. I wonder if how many years he's been in the league? How many years?
I mean, I honestly don't know. 20, maybe? 21?
That's one of those situations where something happens. It happened in the NFL a couple times, and I literally spoke to the media zero times whenever I was a punter. Wasn't asked to, didn't have to, never went to the press conference. Then something would happen, and they'd be like, hey, Pat, is there any way you could potentially go up
smooth
there?
This over? Can you smooth this over and not say anything stupid for us, please?
Could you potentially go represent here, the locker room in this particular one? It's like, yeah, thanks. Just throw me out there on the edge of a cliff. Got it. All right, yeah,
Sure.
no, gotcha. Yeah, no problems at all. We'll go ahead. This is the first time you talk to these guys in 2 years, but yeah, they're going to be asking about some stuff, and you obviously know, right? Yeah, I get it. Okay, so you will. Yeah, you got it. No problem. Let me get up there.
All right, I mean, this is a whole organization pretty much. Yeah, that is the whole thing. But Jack Johnson, 20 years. Yeah, 20 years. He potentially was the one that they were like, hey, listen, do you have anything to say about the situation that just took place? About an hour before a game starts, it's not a dude is out because of an injury. Dude is out for 6 months. Yeah, it's not just, and this is an off-the-ice thing, and PK just talked about it. It's incredibly sad. You know, like that's a sad thing to think that this guy is obviously going through something. He can't control himself in the biggest moments of the year, even if this has been something that's obviously had to have happened in the past. If he's currently in the program, if it's anything like the NFL program, I was in for 27 months. They drug tested me 8 times a month for 27 straight months. I mean, it was a lot. It was in detail. Whenever I left to go visit anywhere, I had to give them an address I was headed to and 2 phone numbers they could reach me at so that they could drug test me at any time, brother. And they certainly did. I went Bigfoot hunting down in Georgia. They drug tested me at 4 a.m. at a hotel motel on the side of the road out in the middle of the woods of Georgia while I was Bigfoot hunting. And drug tester guy said to me, I've never been told to test somebody at 4 a.m. What's going on? I said, well, I told him I was Bigfoot hunting in Georgia. And I guess they wanted to get me. I guess they wanted to get me. I'd assume the NHL is very similar. Like, I assume that there is a program that is happening, and he probably gets random drug tests that take place. This is all me just speculating from my own experience in the NFL. And then if one of those pops, the next punishment is boom, a 6-month suspension. For us, like first one, another 3 months added, another 6 months added, another this, suspension potentially. Like that's how ours works. I would assume the NHL is something similar. And for this to come out hour before the game, I mean, that's a wild situation in Colorado. Legitimately, that is wild for a team that doesn't have a lot of people. That's a small group. That's a good player, and that's obviously something everybody's bummed out about, AJ.
Yeah, do we have any idea the difference between like the NFL substance of abuse program or policy? Because they say he's stage 3. What does stage 3 mean? That just means 6-month suspension?
So I was in stage 1 was like a 3-month. I thought if I aced stage 1, okay, I'm not moving to stage 2.
Ace means that you don't test positive for anything.
No positive test. I don't miss any meetings with anybody. I check in everywhere. I do this entire thing. Like, stage 1, I was like, all right, if I pass stage 1 flying colors, we're not even moving to stage 2.
Good to go.
Stage 1 was ending. Stage 1 was ending. I was driving back to Pittsburgh to celebrate beating stage 1. I'm on highway in Ohio. I get a call from Dr. Brown, and he said, congratulations, you now moving to stage 2. It's just like stage 1, but it's for 24 months. I'm like, what? Why did I even do stage 1? I said, why did I just fail stage 1? Would I have got the same things? He goes, this is just how this goes or whatever. And then he said that I should have puked at some point, is what he said. He said, in all the stories you told from the evening, you didn't once say that you puked. You should have puked at some point. That means it was too natural, too easy for you, especially with where you were. So you're going to need a real thing. Now, it turns out 24 months was good for me. It ended up changing my life, certainly, but I thought it was super serious. I'm like, that's a pretty serious effect. 24 months.
That's a long time.
Yeah. 27 months, I got to do this entire thing. Yeah, you got to do that. Stage 1, first inpatient treatment, no penalty. Stage 2, for violation of stage 1 treatment plan, suspension without pay during active phase of treatment, and then eligible for reinstatement. Stage 3, for violation of stage 2 treatment plan, suspension without pay for at least 6 months, then eligible for reinstatement. So this is 2 fails. Yeah, to get to stage 3. And whatever they're testing him for, you would assume, if it's anything like what the NFL is like.
Yeah.
The NFL one, substance abuse program, is built for you not to get out of.
Yes.
That is you are not supposed to get out of that. Guys have been in that, and I learned of dudes that were in it once I got in it, because obviously you're getting tested on like the same days whenever, if the drug tester comes to the building or whatever. And it's like, I asked one of the guys we were playing, I'm like, how long you been here? He's like, 4 years. I'm like, bro. Because if you time out your fails, it's just like an extension.
But you didn't. But you got put in the program because of an alleged arrest. You didn't fail a test or whatever. Like some guys fail a test and you instantly go in the program. So you never failed a test.
Any drug or alcohol related charge, you go into the program.
Same program.
Yeah. Okay. So I got a public intoxication, which was definite. The story in which they pieced together, alleged. Okay, so there is definitely drunk in public. Certainly was trying.
They test you for booze though? Are you tested for alcohol?
Oh yeah, buddy.
How long does it take for it to get out of your system?
Well, there was one time. You see, I thought I had him. So I got tested in Indianapolis on a Thursday. Okay. Yeah. So I'm like, all right, sweet. Have it at least until Monday, because there's no way they're going to go back to back on me. And normally, you'd be good. So I'm like, yep, I'm going to Vegas. So I went to Vegas. I had a Friday night, Saturday morning, boy, 6:30 a.m., guy in lobby. Oh. You have a 4-hour period to test with it, and I'm like, oh no, it's like the first time I drank in like literally 10 months. I know they probably hear that all the time, but like for shoot. So I actually went to, I forget which spa. I sat in the sauna for 3 hours and like 37 minutes or something like that, and was just chugging water and everything. And then I took that piss was as good as clear. I don't know how they, I don't know how they accepted it. I took it. I'm like, thank you, buddy. And then we moved. But I think as soon as I said I was going to Vegas immediately after, they're like, well, let's go ahead and get it. And then I traveled to Pittsburgh. I got tested in Pittsburgh on, I think that next Tuesday. So, I mean, they thought they were going to get me. That's 3, though, in a 5-day period.
Damn.
Yeah, so then,
How many times could they do it in 1 week? Was there a...
There was no... You couldn't do it back-to-back days.
Okay.
So back-to-back days was not allowed.
But they could do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday.
They did Thursday, Saturday, Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah, in 3 different cities. Indy, Vegas, Pittsburgh.
That's nuts.
Yeah. I got out, though. I got out. No fails.
And that's piss?
Piss, yeah. No blood, thank God. Those blood ones were crazy.
Yeah.
Those got out of nowhere.
The hair, too? Do they do those or no?
I don't think so.
They don't do hair. I don't think they do hair.
that lasts. Because that lasts forever. Yeah.
I had a sweet friend, big brain, shaved his whole body for...
I like that
everything,
guy.
just like eyebrows, everything, just take it all.
No hair. Why did AQ do that?
No, it wasn't AQ. AQ, yeah. I mean, he's getting there, but he's got this guy full body shave. Yeah, walked in, no hair, not hair on his body. This is how I am. We're gonna need hair.
This is me.
We're gonna need hair. Well,
good luck finding one.
Good luck, pal. Good luck.
Yeah, I think you had to come back in a few days, and it turns out it's still in there. It's not just what's growing. It's not going in through the air.
Really?
Yeah, it turns out it's coming.
Makes sense.
From the skin.
Nichushkin, we're joking about this, but hey, figure it out, dude. Come on. Come on, bro.
Great player. Really good player, man.
Great player.
So last year he missed 5 games in the first round. There was an incident where they found police were called to his hotel room on the game day of the first round matchup against the Kraken, and they found a woman that was too intoxicated to leave the hotel room at his hotel room. So there's been a whole history with this where that's probably where he got entered into the program, but details have kind of been hazy ever since that happened.
All right. Well, we hope he finds his way out of the program, and you're a good hockey player, dude. Come on. Let's not blow it. Where's Nichushkin from? Do we know where he's...
Russia originally was a Texas hockey first-round pick a couple years ago, played a couple games with them, bounced around a little bit, but he's a great player, like unbelievable talent.
All right, figure it out, dude. Come on. Figure it out.
Come on, Nichushkin.
I need you. 6 months is nothing in the grand scheme of things, especially if you're able to figure it out. I needed it. It was a lot. But I needed it. Maybe this is something that hopefully, figure out in Nichushkin. And speaking of somebody that doesn't have anything figured out, seemingly, he's got a great mustache.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Fantastic.
Super tall.
Yeah.
Stropping.
Just
Stropping, man.
Yeah.
Massive ass.
Yeah, huge lower body.
Huge ass.
Yeah.
National champion.
Yep.
Throws gas. They call him the gas station.
Ooh.
Ladies and gentlemen, Pittsburgh Pirates ace, Paul Skenes. What's up, pal?
What's up, guys?
How do you feel about the gas station? And maybe gas has 2 S's in it, too. You know what I mean? So it's like the gas station because you're throwing gas and you have that massive ass that the Pirates posted on social media. How do we feel about it? We working with it? We brainstorming still? Do we got any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I see what you're doing there, and I don't mind it.
Okay.
I never heard that one.
Okay, the gas station. Because guess what's coming?
Gas.
Fucking gas.
Yeah. Unleaded.
Never runs out.
Premium. All right, let's talk about your debut with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Obviously, we all watched 7 strikeouts. You pitched for 4 innings. 1 run against you, left 2 on. That goes in. ERA is what it is, but they're talking about historic debut for you. What were your feelings? I don't know if you saw. All of Pittsburgh loved what they saw from you, from what we're gathering from our friends back there. How were you feeling when you got out there, and what was it like your first day in PNC?
Yeah, it was cool. That was my, first time being in the stadium for a game, in the dugout for a game. And walking out there and getting the crowd into it and all that. Like it was just cool from, surreal just from the beginning. It was an awesome day.
Okay. Was there any nerves? Like when you're warming up there and Q Country Roads is, hey, come and take me home. What a banger. But I learned of that from your playoff song. He's from Morgantown, West Virginia. I went to WVU. So, I should have known about that song as a banger. But there's people recording your warm-up, and that song's playing, and I'm watching the video. I'm like, what a perfect What a perfect warm-up song. Are you taking it all in? Are you in a different world? What is it like whenever you're doing your warm-ups there for your first Major League game?
Yeah, hearing the song, I thought about that for a while. Thought about the song I was going to use, and that's the song I'll use going forward. And I didn't really think about what the moment would be like, but like warming up and hearing that and the crowd and everything, it was really cool. I wasn't trying to take it in too much, just because I feel like that can get you kind of out of it a little bit. But looking back, that was a really cool moment.
Hell yeah! Go ahead, AJ.
What's it like trying to get comfortable, like pitching to many different like catchers, I guess, and just like the logistics of being called up? Here you go, opening day. I assume you haven't really pitched too much to any of the catchers there on the big league roster. What's that like? Is it tough? I know some guys are very particular about what they want their catchers to do and how they want them to be.
Yeah, there are a lot of conversations that go into that. And Grandal is the guy who caught me. And I had a lot of conversations with him in spring training, when I was around him. And then, kind of silver linings a little bit. He was on a rehab assignment in AAA earlier this year, which you never want to see. But being able to get that, that experience with him, I threw to him. I talked with him about what I was thinking and targets and that kind of thing. So it wasn't the first time I'd thrown to him, and we had a little bit of a rapport going into the game.
Paul, I'm so happy you're in the Pittsburgh Pirates organization. Yeah. I am so happy. I mean, I don't know if you know this. I was not a baseball fan. When I was born, to the time I had a brain, all the way through like having memories, the Pirates were terrible at baseball. The only thing it was going to PNC Park, and hopefully, if they win, that's a huge plus.
Yep.
Huge plus. And then we get Zambelli fireworks afterwards. Now, like, people are like, wait a second. This could be something special, especially with you and a young group sparking it. Go ahead, Tone, Pirates fan.
Yeah, Paul, you and Jared Jones, the Hondo boys, also a rookie, also has been incredible and started the season up with the club. Are you guys leaning on each other? How much did you talk to him before your first start, since he had his first start also this year? What's the relationship like between you two?
Yeah, I didn't know him too well before this offseason, really. And it's kind of grown into a pretty good friendship pretty quickly. We were together for most of spring training while I was in big league camp, and obviously this is his first go around too, with being in the big leagues and everything, but he's done it for, a month and a half longer than I have. So being able to, pick his brain about what the vibe's like and the expectations and everything like that for a guy who's, been there, done that a little bit. It's awesome.
I know it might be a little bit different right now on the screen because you're looking at a grown-ass man. But aside from, I don't know if you're a little scared right now. You know what I mean? I don't know if you're a little scared right now. I'd even flex your tricep a little bit.
Yeah.
Let you know that, let you know that the horseshoe is working. He's pumped. Don't you even think about letting anything hang. But aside from that, is there anything else? Ty has a question for you.
Yeah, Paul, obviously it's only been one start. But in terms of just like adjustments or, like the differences, like what did you notice the biggest adjustment or difference was from pitching in AAA to being in the bigs?
I don't know. And I think to an extent, I don't want to call that outing a wash, but like it's such a different and like interesting outing, just because there's so much other stuff going on there that it's a little bit hard to kind of drown it all out. Like a major league debut is a major league debut. And so I don't know exactly what in terms of like the adrenaline and everything there, it's so hard to kind of drown it out. The hitters are definitely better. You have to be finer for sure in terms of how you attack them and that kind of thing. But I don't know. You'll probably have to give me a couple more outings for me to give you a definitive answer on that.
I appreciate everything. Like the way you go about doing your business is hilarious. I've told this story a couple times to people back in Pittsburgh who went and watched you and were like, hey, this dude is as advertised. That is what this dude is just, and I tell him like, yeah, all ball too. Like this guy is just all baseball. You only want to get better and better, it feels like. From when we talked to you whenever you were here, we told you about the Indianapolis Zoo, which is beautiful, which is literally right next to the ballpark in which you were playing at for the Indianapolis Indians. And you didn't even know it existed because literally you throw balls and then you were napping. And then Livy The video announcing your reaction is when you both wake up from a nap and realize that he's now in the majors. It's like this dude literally just sleeps and does baseball. Is that the mindset for what, your whole life? Like, why do you think you're like this? And is this going to be how you are, you think, for the foreseeable future?
Yeah, I don't know. And I think that I'm young, and like, the cool thing about being here is there, 35-year-olds who have played for a while in the big leagues, and they all kind of say the same thing. It's like, you can't just be ball and sleep, like kind of how I am right now. But I think I'm young enough and like new enough to it to where I can get away with it and, be fresh every day and show up with a fresh mind and that kind of thing. I don't think that's how it's going to be forever. People always say, do you golf or anything like that? I'm like, I don't golf. I don't see myself golfing ever, but I know I got to pick something up at some point.
At some point, they tell me I got to do a hobby. Do you play cards? I'm
starting to. Yeah,
okay.
That's a good one.
Okay, there's a little mental vacation, quick. A little refresher, and you're still competing. And camaraderie building. A lot of cards is a good hobby to pick up. I assume with the amount of time you guys are going to be on the road as well. There was something that took over all conversation of all the baseball nerds. D-Butt's got a question for you.
Yeah, maybe pick up some gaming too. I'm a big MLB The Show guy. Something I didn't know existed. The Splinker. I know not many guys throw that, and you do, definitely do. How did you get that into your arsenal?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of laugh when people call it the Splinker. That's a name for a pitch. Like, and one of our guys, Henry Davis, came up with that during spring training or during the off season when he was catching me. And it's like I've always called it a sinker on the scoreboard and StatCast and that kind of thing. They're calling it a splitter. And you look at like the metrics of it. It's not a true sinker. It's not a true splitter. I don't know. It is what it is. I literally just came about finding that pitch just by playing around and throwing it in catch play one day, and it kind of stuck.
What does it do? So why do they say it sinks and it splits? This thing's moving twice right now. Like, I'm a righty right now. So what is this pitch doing? Is it coming towards me? Is it going away? Is it going down? Is it going out? Does it change every time? What does that pitch do that has everybody kind of befuddled, we'll say?
Yeah, from what I've heard, because I'm a low slot, so you expect the ball to kind of go, arm side with it, and maybe ride a little bit too. So what I've heard from all the catchers and the hitters that have faced me that I've talked to after is that it kind of just goes straight down, which isn't sinker. You expect it to go down and arm side too, and the way they see it is it just kind of goes straight down. It's kind of what I've heard.
I would just bunt you the whole time. Bunt. That's what I would do the whole time. Are you, hey, I don't know. Sorry about this. I had to step in a batter's box with top pitching prospect in the history of baseball. I mean, have to abuse,
it's a beautiful
the situation.
It's a beautiful stadium, too.
Yeah, so I apologize for, kind of taking it in the batter's box there. And I did get a hit. I'm on base. Yep. So I'm batting 1,000 against Paul Skenes. It's right here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It is right here on this entire thing. We talked to Sean Casey, the mayor, who's a Pittsburgh native. He played for the Cincinnati Reds for a long time. I think he played for the Red Sox for a while. He's been around. He's a hitting coach for the Yankees. He said that he thinks, and I don't know if you heard this or not, and there's people, I guess, throwing Mason Miller. No.
In Oakland.
Yeah.
In Oakland. He's throwing like 103, 104, I guess. Have you ever thought about what top end potentially could be as your body continues to grow and everything like that? And what do those conversations look like?
I don't know. I haven't thought about it. The one thing that I, do as best as I can is not put a ceiling on it.
Smart.
Yeah. And velo isn't, velo's cool, but it's not everything. And I think at some point, if you can chase velo as much as you want, but it might start to take away from other things. It's kind of how I look at it. Like, which isn't to say I don't want to throw harder, but I'm kind of happy with where I'm at.
Yeah, I think it's doing just fine, pal. Cannot wait to watch it continue to evolve. Speaking of evolve, the game is doing so technologically, but not in the majors. Connor has a question for you.
Yeah, Paul, were there any calls while you were pitching that you went to, challenge like you could with the Indianapolis team that plays baseball here? Or were there a few?
What's their name? I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you guys know what they're talking about. They play next to the Indianapolis. Tony.
That's their name. I'm just saying their name.
Good
You're not going to
Lord,
tell me
Tony.
not to say their name.
Jeez,
You don't disrespect their company.
Guy's got a cowboy hat on. But Skenes, were there any? Were there situations where you wanted to challenge them, or were you just kind of good with the calls?
I was good with them. I don't know. I didn't pay too much attention to which ones they missed or anything like that. You can see that after the inning or after the outing in the dugout. But I like the human part of the game. There's no point in. I mean, you're never in the history of baseball has a called strike or a called ball gotten overturned. So there's no, it's just the game, and I love that part of it.
Yeah, you gave that answer to us about how you think framing pitches is a big part of a job. You used to be a catcher, which leads me to Jeff Passan's 2:30 a.m. list of questions potentially for Paul Skenes. Okay, so our friend Jet Passan warms up the Jet. He covers baseball for ESPN. We talked to him yesterday, and I said, hey, if you have any questions that baseball people would ask Paul Skenes, go on and send them over. Now, sounds like you're already on a good nutritional plan. That's a super alkaline +7, I believe, water.
High pH.
That's your pH levels there.
Smart.
Love what you're doing.
Smart.
Love what you're doing. Young age, take care of your body. He said, and on that note about being an ex-catcher, could you play catcher today if the Pirates asked, says Jet Passan, let's say there's a game. We don't want it to happen.
No.
Ever. But you need to play catcher. You think you can still get your big ass down into that stance and make it happen for the Pittsburgh Pirates?
Hit a couple home runs.
Guys, I've been on this for a while, and I was trying to tell our manager in AAA how good I was at catching, and he doesn't believe me. And for some reason, there's no video anywhere that I can find of me catching, so need somebody to find that. But I think I can. Nobody ever believes me when I tell them that I was a catcher, but I think I miss that just as much as I miss hitting.
Okay.
I think he won if I remember correctly, the John Olerud two-way player award or something like that, if I remember correctly, for catching and pitching, I think.
In which state?
I think that was
California?
No, I believe that was a summer league up in the New England area.
The Cape Cod League.
Maybe.
Is that right, Ball?
No, that was the college season.
Whatever. Same
NCAA.
That was Air
Like
Force.
national
That
championship.
was Air Force.
Speaking of college season, did you really turn down? I'm not asking this question. No, these guys are pro now.
Yeah.
Pass it,
We're not
yeah.
talking NIL money.
These guys deep.
Jet pass. Why are we going back in time? Spaceships don't come equipped with rear view mirrors. They dip. Only one other guy in the world, Joan Duran, throws the splinker that you throw. How did you pick up this new pitch since college? I think you might have answered that, but have you talked to Joan Duran about the pitch? And do you talk to other pitchers about pitches that you could potentially add in to your bag, Paul Skenes?
Yeah. Funny thing, the pitching coach we had at LSU last year, who's the head coach at Georgia now, he was with the Twins, so he coached Durant and he coached me, and there's no correlation there, I don't think, with the splinkers, but kind of a funny thing there. Again, the sink, I call it a sinker.
Splinker.
Statcast, I think, calls it a splitter. Like it's just a name to me. And he throws his like 10 miles an hour harder than mine, probably. Like, so I don't know that it's the same pitch. I think I got a ways to go before it's, a splinker like his.
Okay, so okay. I appreciate the humility and shout out to Joan Duran and pitch and everything like that. Do you guys pick up will you pick up new pitches as you go, or will a ball just start traveling? For instance, Matt Prater, who's a kicker, I assume still in the NFL. I think he'll probably kick forever. His ball just started going like a little bit of a slice, and I asked him, I'm like, how'd that start happening? Why'd you start doing it? He was like, it just started happening one day. Like, it literally just started happening. So now I got to play it. Is there like different pitches that'll show up whenever you're practicing that's like, oh, I didn't know I could do that with the ball? Or how do you add on to your bag of pitches?
Yeah, that's literally how I found the sinker. I was trying to, that was one of the projects that I had when I got to LSU last year. And, to start throwing a sinker, because having two fastballs is always a good thing as a pitcher. So I was doing that, and kind of like I was trying really hard to, make that happen, I guess. And I was throwing, basically the difference is I was trying to get it off my middle finger then, and I'm trying to get it off my index finger now. And I literally just found the index finger cue by just playing catch, and I wasn't fooling around, but I threw one off the index finger that, really dove, and I was like, all right, I'll just keep doing that, and I'll keep trying to do that. And I think as you come up with pitches, it's a lot of fooling around for me. You get ideas from other guys and what you see, but you got to just kind of fool around with it a little bit.
God, that had to be a great day when that thing just starts going. Like, think about Mariano Rivera when he found that cutter.
Oh,
what a day! What a day! I don't know how old he was. He threw it, though, and somebody was like, yeah, nobody can hit that. All right, I'm going to do this. This is what I'm going to do. Yep, rest of your life, you are good to do. I still think we should add the knuckleball. Something to think about, Paul. Maybe with your left hand. Get the glove that goes on the other side. You knuckle it with that left hand. Really throw him for a loop. Ty has a question for you, Paul.
Yeah, Paul, I can't remember if you told us whether or not you were superstitious when you were in studio, but have you locked down like a pregame meal before your starts yet? I know you're a big son of a bitch, so I don't know if you're eating, 15, 20 turkey legs, some mashed potatoes, a couple ice cold pops maybe. Have you kind of developed something that you're eating before every start or no?
Yeah, chicken Alfredo before every start. I got some crap from some of the guys before my last one because I just had this ginormous plate of chicken Alfredo a couple hours before I was going to pitch, and they're basically telling me they wouldn't even make it out to pitch. They'd just be sitting on the toilet if they ate that before their outing. But that's what I do. Every outing helps me keep my energy.
Yeah, roll the dice with a dump too. That can really,
Sure.
That can get you. That can tighten it up a little bit whenever game gets a little bit longer. Go ahead, AJ.
Paul, speaking of like the splinker and even any other pitches that you have picked up along the way, how long from just figuring that out, playing long toss or soft toss with your buddies to, hey, I'm going to use this in a game or a spring training like matchup? Like, how long does it take to where you feel comfortable and think, all right, I'm going to try this against some live batters?
Depends on the pitch, I think. Because I started throwing my curveball during the season last year. When I went into the college season last year, I was fastball, sinker, slider, changeup, and we found pretty quick that it wouldn't be very smart to throw my sinker because that's usually a right-on-right pitch, and they were cheating to get to the fastball, so it was kind of just a bad speed pitch for them. But then third or fourth week of the season last year, I started fooling around with what I wanted to be a gyro slider because I was throwing the sweeper. Basically, I have something that was in the middle between my fastball and the sweeper that didn't move quite as much horizontally. So I threw a gyro slider my freshman and sophomore year of college and went back to that cue and that grip. And it ended up being a curveball and locked it in about 3 days and started throwing it in games. Probably 3 or 4 days after I, first started throwing it. But that's not always how it goes.
Yeah, well, that gyro slider, though.
Oh, man.
Once you get that thing and then a sweeper comes by.
It's game changer.
Holy shit, and then once you have it, you got it.
Yeah. Then you have the knuckle.
Oh, yeah, with the left hand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you need to start working in the left-handed knuckle. I don't even, are you allowed to pitch both hands same at bat?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Same at bat.
No, yeah, there used to be a guy who his glove was webbed on both sides, and he'd flip from, one pitch he'd throw right-handed, next pitch he'd throw left-handed.
Really?
I mean, he wasn't playing in the bigs. I think he played at like Creighton or something like that, and he wasn't throwing very hard, but he did both.
Gosh, could you Paul, let's take this to the next level. Let's start throwing with both arms. You just started throwing a hundo with your right arm a couple years back, which is why everybody in Pittsburgh is so damn excited. This guy's just getting started in this entire thing. Yeah. Just getting started. And when you started, you decided you wanted to do it the right way, too. We learned about you donating to the Gary Sinise Foundation, $100 per strikeout, $700 already donated after his first 4 innings in the majors. And we would like to let you know, before you even open up about why you chose to do this, which is an incredibly cool thing, that the current record for a 9-inning game is 20 strikeouts, okay? If you get to 21, we'll donate $1 million to the same foundation for you. So if you get 21 strikeouts in a 9-inning game, okay? Because there's a 16-inninger in the history that got 21. And there's a couple. What's that?
Would the Pirates let him?
It's a new day, obviously. We're just saying if we get to the situation,
it's a perfect game
where we need one. Yeah, absolutely. 21 is right. We'll donate $1 million to follow this. But why'd you choose to do this? And thank you for doing this. This is a cool thing, Paul Skenes.
Yeah, thanks for the shout out with that, guys. Yeah, it was something that we did. I worked with Folds of Honor last year at LSU, kind of doing a similar thing. It was $10 for strikeout ban, but really, I was at the Air Force Academy for 2 years, and that had a profound impact on my life that continues now. I miss those guys, and the people that I was talking with some people yesterday, because there was a tweet that came out about the planes that we flew to 2 away games, and so I got asked a lot about the Air Force Academy yesterday, incidentally. But no, it's just the people that you're going to meet there, the people that I met, and everything that I've gained from being from there is just unbelievable. And so obviously I'm not there anymore. Yep, that's the one. And obviously I'm not there anymore, but just trying to find ways to give back to that community that's done so much for me.
That's awesome. It's incredibly cool. You didn't have to do that. You chose to do that. There's a lot of people that say they would do that and don't actually do that. So you putting your money where your mouth is sweet. We'll donate 100 alongside of you, and then for every strikeout. And then if we get 21, 9 innings though. Hey, okay?
You got it.
Let's not be doing the 10, 11 inning thing.
No.
Okay, we can't be $1 million wide on top of it. Keep crushing it. We're incredibly lucky to get to watch you do your thing. Can't wait to see how great you get, and thank you for doing it in Pittsburgh, pal, even though you didn't really have an option.
No, it's wouldn't want to do it anywhere else. This place is awesome.
Oh, love that.
Wow, yeah.
Love that. Hey, if we call you Big Country, not good because you're from California or you're from the beach?
Hey, big country, gas station, whatever you want. I'm good with it.
I'm telling you,
I need a nickname.
Is the gas station already taken? It has to be already taken.
I don't think so.
Oh no, you're good.
Because it's just gas, bro.
Yeah, at all times.
There's some stats about how many hundos you throw, and you probably get forced to look at them and everything like that. It was
there it is.
The velo.
The one.
Yeah, this one. Fastest pitches by an MLB starter this entire year. The guy whose name is up there, the whole time, he's only played 4 innings. He's only played 4 innings in his Thursday. That's the fucking gas station.
Yeah, that's right.
Only serving gas. We appreciate the hell out of you, Paul. Keep enjoying yourself, and hopefully we'll get to talk to you again soon.
Yeah, will do. Appreciate you guys having me again.
Ladies and gentlemen, Paul Skenes.
Gas station.
I like gas station.
I don't mind gas station.
That's good.
I was thinking if you wanted to do big sheets, but gas station is
gas pump station with 2 S's.
Gas.
Yeah,
because he's got that.
Yeah.
Was that AI? You think?
What was that?
You think they AI'd his ass? He looked like that one guy who's on the internet with the the fake ass.
I know what you're talking about.
Khakis do that, the angle, but I mean,
there wasn't the pleats. Is that what you're saying? It's the pleats?
No, I'm just saying it was khakis tend to do it because that guy on the internet wears khakis all the time. He's not doing that just for fun.
Skenes has a dumper. Okay,
yes, correct.
That's the bottom line here.
Any of these guys in the bigs, who throw gas, massive ass on all of them.
All right, okay. And they just seem to go.
Yeah, they go on and on and on and on.
All right, well, thank you to Paul Skenes. Best pitching prospect, they said, in, I don't know, forever.
Since Steven Strasburg, for real. That was the last one who was kind of similar, and he got drafted, I think, 15 years ago. So
where'd he go? Washington?
Yep. And went to Arizona State. Threw against the Air Force, incidentally, in his last game. He threw a no-hitter, had 17 strikeouts.
All right, baseball's happening. 175 more games for every team. That guy will pitch another 24 times. We will certainly be paying attention when that's taking place. Let's talk about big news in the NFL that took place overnight. The Detroit Lions continue to dig into this vault of money that they have found, investing in a team that has brought them more happiness than potentially any Detroit Lions team has in the past. Jared Goff has signed an extension with the Detroit Lions, $170 million guaranteed on a 4-year deal. Now, everybody remembers that when Jared Goff was traded away from the Los Angeles Rams to the Detroit Lions due to a vacation in Mexico in which Matty Stafford and Sean McVay and Andrew Whitworth and Jay Glazer and Drew Brees were all having the time of their lives and decided that they needed to work together. Jared Goff was kicked out of town. One of the big reasons why the Detroit Lions ended up with Jared Goff is because they were willing to take on the tab in which Jared Goff was being paid, which was like $30 million a year.
Yep.
Everybody in the NFL, a lot of fans are like, who's going to take a $30 million cap hit for Jared Goof? Nobody wants that guy. Now, here we are a few years later. The Detroit Lions are NFC favorites. And Jared Goff just signed for another $170 million. What a glorious tale.
Hell yeah.
What a Detroit glorious tale of two things coming together being perfect for each other, Evan Fox.
This was an absolute no-brainer, worth every single penny. First quarterback in my life for the Detroit Lions to win the NFC North and to win a playoff game, won multiple playoff games. And Pat, when we were at the draft, you made a really good point. Detroit doesn't have a chance, but they do now with Jared Goff. It literally is just his name, Jared Goff. Jared Goff. And they're not just doing that at Ford Field. They were doing that at Little Caesars Arena for Red Wings game. They were doing it at the draft. I love this. I'm so happy for this guy. And yeah, like now we're set. 4 years of Jared Goff, 4 years of having a Super Bowl window. It's awesome.
What's wrong, Connor? Why you?
No.
Connor's shaking his head, thumbs over his shoulder.
No. In a good way. Like the words that just came out of Foxy's mouth, if you were to tell me that that's how that it would turn out for Jared Goff after the Rams, I would have said you are the most insane person on the face of the planet. He just said, thank God for Jared Goff, and that was a dream. What'd you guys go his first year, 3-14?
Yes, we started out 0-10. Legitimately thought we were going to go 0-17 in Jared's first year. Another reason why I love him so much, because you just stuck it out, and now he's a fan favorite. Everyone loves him.
Holmes, MCDC, Jared Goff. That's Detroit Lions football, AJ. And the NFC North is going to continue to have the wagon moving through the Motor City.
I mean, look at the NFC North getting better and better. Okay, with Foxy and how juiced he is, I'm just wondering if this went another way. Let's say they try to lowball him. Let's say they didn't try to give him this gigantic contract, which I think he absolutely deserves. Would you be up in arms going crazy if they couldn't figure this out?
Yes, I would be, because this is one of my favorite part of what the brand new Lions are doing is they're doing everything correctly. They're treating everyone right. They gave St. Brown a deal. They gave Sewell a deal. They mended fences with Calvin Johnson. They have done everything right. The draft, an absolute success, and now you got to pay the guy that absolutely deserved it. Won you playoff game, won NFC North, one of the best quarterbacks that are successful seasons for a quarterback in Lions history at this point.
Well, hey, listen, we're celebrating. You don't have to do your backpedal there.
Yeah, I didn't. I love Matthew Stafford, so I didn't want it to make it sound like I already jumped ship from Stafford, because I love him. This doesn't happen without
he's
Matthew
won way
Stafford.
more than Stafford has.
Well, actually, I saw a bunch of stats with Warren Sharp put out, and it's like since trade, Stafford with LA and Goff with Detroit, there's a lot of statistics that you can find that are like, hey, these two same exact guys. Like, this is the same exact situation that's taking place. And once again, back to your point, 3 years ago, this was not the story being told.
Oh, no.
3 years ago, 4 years ago, this was not how this was being talked about. And remember, MCDC was a big dumb dipshit.
It was.
Remember how stupid he was 4 years ago in everybody's eyes around the sports media? Obviously, now that you know our show, we were not on ESPN at the time. We were on the internet. We obviously loved MCDC. In press conference, if you haven't seen us react to it literally day of, it is exactly how you would think it would go with us, with him speaking the way he is. But they were mocked and ridiculed and buried. And not that the Detroit Lions weren't already underground from being buried by the rest of the NFL and the media for the last 30 years, but it was like, this is the dumbest they've ever been. And now their fans, look, they're looking forward to Thanksgiving games. They're looking forward to, primetime games every single week, seemingly. It's a brand new world up there, and that's power of the NFL.
I mean, you love to see this. And it's not like, Jared Goff is this underdog story. Kind of seems that way, but he was the number one pick, went to Super Bowl, I think, on his rookie deal. But for what he's done, going to the Lions, everybody thought, hey, this is going to be a bridge guy, set up for their next quarterback. So for him to turn this franchise around, be a big part of turning this franchise around, then getting another big deal. I think he's only 29 too, which is kind of surprising. Seems like he's been in the league forever, but still, younger than 30, so you expect him to get another deal. And then it's kind of sets up for the other quarterbacks out there that's going to get paid, soon that you expect to get paid. Dak, Tua, Jordan Love, all these guys are definitely chomping at the bit. But love to see this for Jared Goff. Definitely deserves it. And his film for the last few years, I mean, it's been phenomenal.
That offense And he's got his offense coordinator again.
Yep.
Mhm.
Ben Johnson's
Huge.
back
Sticking around
for another year. So
All the weapons.
They got all the trick plays. They're not scared to use them. They got the power running if you need it. They have all their weapons and added to it back. It's like the Detroit Lions are for real. And if you're in Green Bay,
You're not worried at all.
Uh-oh.
But sure, it's awesome that the Lions are for real, like it is. But again, I said it in Detroit. I'm not over here like, oh my God, the Lions are so good. Like, okay, they are good. That's great, and I'm happy for Foxy because they've been sucked for a long time.
That's self-censoring.
A long time.
You're very good at that.
I try. I'm not worried about it. You know, they embarrassed the Packers at Lambeau early in the season, and then what did the Packers do? They embarrassed them on Thanksgiving Day. Beat the shit out of them. Beat the absolute shit out of them. So again, I'm not gonna be backtracking. The Lions have a couple Iowa guys who are also instrumental in them, turning things around. So I appreciate that. I love that. You mentioned guys getting paid. Guess who Jordan Love's agent is?
Who's that?
Mr. Mulugeta.
Oh my God!
Wow.
They're gonna have to give him a percentage of the town.
Jordan Love's going to be the first quarterback to be making $125 million a season.
I think so.
And they're going to guarantee him maybe $1 billion contract.
Yeah,
and I'll pound the pavement for it.
If Mulugeta's, the one doing the negotiating, we just assume it's going to be the highest the position's ever seen. He got $170 million guaranteed right there. That's $60 million less than Deshaun Watson.
That's right.
In guaranteed money.
Yeah.
Whoa.
$60 million less. That was literally my first thought as soon as I saw it. And I'm an asshole for that.
A contract.
Yeah, absolutely. And you think about all Jared Goff has done for Detroit.
Yeah.
All Jared Goff.
Yeah.
He's changed everything. He's changed the whole world there. Everything's different now.
Hey, when we were at the draft, everyone was wearing Lions gear. Everyone had jerseys, merch, you name it. It wasn't always like that. It was actually frowned upon, and you were looked at kind of like a loser if you wore Lions gear. That's what Jared Goff has done for Detroit.
Thank you, Jared.
Thank you, Jared.
They want the Jared.
Yeah.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Let's stick in the NFL. We have some games that have been leaked by the networks, which will be broadcasting them. Obviously, 114 days from now, September 5th, the Ravens will travel to Kansas City to take on the Chiefs in banner night. September 6th in Sao Paulo, Brazil, the Packers will have to find a runway long enough to get a plane out of town to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. Then, in Tom Brady's debut broadcasting game, we assume at the 4 o'clock slot, Cowboys will be taking on the Browns on Fox. And then Monday Night Football, Week 1, is the New York Jets taking on the San Francisco 49ers, who are obviously in Santa Clara. That should be a rompous atmosphere and fantastic. We're going to learn a lot about Aaron Rodgers and the Jets there in Week 1 and also about the Niners returning. We also know in Week 2, actually the first Thursday night football game, Bills-Dolphins will play an AFC East rivalry. Will kick off Kirk Herbstreit, Al Michaels, Kaylee Hartung, Andrew Whitworth, Richard Sherman,
Tony
Gonzalez, Carissa Thompson, Marshawn Lynch, Ryan Fitzmagic, and there, Michael Smith, Taylor Brooks. We'll have an incredible year to start with the Bills and the Chiefs. And then also, Week 2, the Bengals will take on the Kansas City Chiefs. So Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes will battle in Week 2, and all those other games will be Week 1. Tomorrow night, the schedule will be fully released on ESPN and ESPN+. We did reach out to our sources at the league office and say, can you just give me like a low profile one, just like one we can make a big mockery out of?
Like a Week 7.
Because everybody else is seemingly leaking this shit. Right. And then I got the quick mention, these are from the networks that paid billions of dollars. They're the ones that are getting the first game. Oh, okay. We didn't know if we were just potentially. We don't know if you could send one this way.
How do they choose what to leak? How do they choose, or how do they get to choose which games they leak?
It's the networks doing the.
So it doesn't matter. Like do you think the league frowns upon it, or the league knows what's going on?
No, I think that's part of the song and dance.
The build up. Yeah, here we go. Let's just keep dropping little. Let's just keep dropping little ones. Then boom, we'll drop it all tomorrow.
Yeah, like Ravens Chiefs. It's like, oh shit, we're in schedule release time, and oh shit, that's a great game. Like that is. Yeah. It's a brilliant idea. That's why we called our source Sis at the league office, and we're like, hey, can you just give us some game? Just give us some game that we can just act like it's a big deal and then say, hey, schedule release is coming. They're like, absolutely not. We signed NDAs. We're not allowed to do it.
I mean, we're on it. We couldn't get like a Cardinals Commanders Monday Night Football announcement.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you just give us some game, you know, just like something. Absolutely not. It was like one of the fastest. No, yeah, okay, yeah. The people that are getting this information have paid billions of dollars to the league.
Whatever.
Okay.
No, we just wanted to talk about week 9.
Yeah, Colts Patriots.
Yeah, something going on over there in Germany, maybe.
Yeah, boom. That'd be kind of cool.
Didn't that happen
that was last year.
Maybe run it back, same game.
Why not? It was a great
Tradition.
atmosphere. Everyone loved it.
It could become a tradition.
I love tradition.
I do too. Like every time I go to Greenville, South Carolina, I get to watch an incredible Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
Every time I go to Greenville, that gets
Where is that game at? That Tom's first game? Is that in Cleveland?
Cleveland, yeah.
Oh, that sucks for your first game.
What?
About?
It's gonna
That
be
Welcome to hell,
Tom.
better than
Guys
the
got to
fall.
go to Cleveland for his first game. That's memorable.
It is. It's right there. Look, think about his view. The lake.
Yeah.
It's right there from where he's looking
Fly a
at.
seaplane in. You might have Jimmy Graham.
Well, he probably
flying
never
in on a
lost there,
seaplane
so
or
I guess
something.
it's good memories.
Speaking of Jimmy Graham, I tweeted him mid-show. Mid-conversation, because something got sent in. These killer whales
Oh, boy.
flipped the sailboat.
No.
They flipped the sail, killed him.
A yacht, I believe it said.
A
it
yacht.
killed him? They killed the people? I didn't know it killed them.
Yeah, what do you think they're doing? This is like the seals on the ice. They're getting you out up there so you become the chum.
They're
We're
not
killer
living
whales.
Good Lord.
AJ, they're not living whales. They're killer whales, okay? They didn't give them CPR on the ice.
Yeah, so as soon as I saw CBS Sports, or CBS News report this about these killer whales getting smarter. They're getting smarter. I go, hey, Jimmy Graham, how are we handling this type of shit in the Arctic, pal? You know, because they're up there.
Yeah.
And he goes, yes, that's a bit of a concern. We will have a game plan for sure. Even if I got to jump on it and ride it like Avatar to sacrifice for my team, whatever it takes. See, that's what I'm saying. I understand he's the eternal optimist. I respect and appreciate that. Somebody needs to keep it real with this guy. Somebody needs to tell him there are killer whales in the Arctic Ocean ready to kill your big ass. And with how big he is on that boat, they're eating him first.
Oh, no doubt about it.
Oh,
And
no question.
I'm pretty sure killer whales do not like it when people jump on their backs. So
No.
if that's Jimmy's plan, I would get a new one because that's going to
Big
piss
pet
him off.
peeve.
even
Hope he can
more.
hold his breath. That thing's going deep down in there.
He
Like
can't.
So,
SeaWorld.
I don't know what kind of weight they can carry on this
Kill
thing.
him.
They need a couple rocket launchers and a couple rockets.
yeah.
You
Yeah,
see
yeah,
a killer
they'll be-
whale,
Dynamite.
blow that thing to smithereens.
Or sonar guns.
RPGs. He got RPGs all over
Now,
that
couple
boat.
sticks
I
of
don't think you
dynamite.
guys are allowed to kill killer whale. I don't
Why
think.
If they're trying to kill you,
Yeah.
they're trying to kill you.
Yeah.
Right?
Kill.
You're in their house and you signed up to go on a canoe in the middle of the Arctic.
If it's self-defense, there is no maritime law that says you can't do that.
True.
Yeah,
There
and I
we go.
thought
Yeah, you can gamble out there too. They should get
Exactly.
a casino.
Whoa.
Yeah.
The crew members of the attack survived.
Okay, good. That's a whole different story.
Okay.
The whales didn't. They only killed the boat.
Well, it's getting soft.
These whales are dumb. They're eating wood. Like everybody thinking these AIs.
Fiberglass.
Everybody thinks these AIs are going to take over. Their Photoshops are shit.
Well, we
Okay, their video editing is crap. Okay.
Crap, complete crap.
They don't know what's good and what's bad. They have no sense of taste, and they never will. These killer whales are eating wood.
I mean, we have to consider the fact that the brand new Pizza Hut cheeseburger was on the boat, and that maybe they smelt that and just went straight for the hut.
I did not do enough research. I was in the middle of something. Did see that Pizza Hut is debuting a burger. Hello, heaven.
Yeah, Pizza Hut's done it again, and water is wet. So I cannot wait. Getting it tonight. I hope it's all locations and not just a couple select few. But even if
you should not eat that.
You better have your dude wipes handy.
No, dude,
Always do.
You should do it right before show tomorrow.
I
You
will.
should not
I
eat
will.
that.
And you know what? I'll bring in a nighttime diaper that my daughter wears, so that you can.
With dude wipes in there, obviously.
Exactly. I'll use that to clean up. But yeah, I mean,
It's a bath for your ass. It's dude wipes.
I don't think that's good.
just Pizza Hut, just doing it again.
Changing the game.
They're Paul Skenes.
They are.
That's all they do.
They're painting it.
They just the gas station is a good nickname.
Great.
Oh, yeah.
I think we figured.
Jeez.
Want a better burger?
Wait, so
Is that's
that's
just a calzone?
That's a burger?
That's just a calzone.
No, it's a burger.
Yeah, that looks like a folded piece of pizza, which would be a calzone, just not.
That doesn't look
completely
great.
Whoa.
Excuse me.
AJ,
AJ,
we gotta hold up. D-Bot, don't.
I love Pizza Hut. That doesn't look great.
Shut up.
This is not how we're. I can't believe this is how we're ending Fast
You're up
Talking
against
Tuesday.
it. You're up against it. Yep.
Fast Talking Tuesday ends with a
He knew.
bunch of bullshit.
Yeah,
Put
you're
you
a
in
piece of
spot.
shit,
All right,
AJ.
we'll be back tomorrow. Hope you choose to watch. See you then. Goodbye. All right, hope you're happy, AJ.
Hey, do you want me to not? Do you want me to lie? Should I lie about it? I think D-Butt might have a little bit of, trepidation, as they say, in eating.
One more for AJ being a piece of shit.
Hole's getting smaller. I think Hole's getting smaller over here.
It looks like it.
What was that all about? What you guys chose to do?
I mean, we got to be honest. Come on now.
Be honest.
Exactly.
That's not
Did
a
you see
burger.
the logo
That's
that's
not a
on there?
hamburger.
Did you see the logo that's on there? Pizza
Let me
Hut.
see.
Yeah, you see it?
You know what that means? It's good.
It's fire.
They're not just fucking rolling out some shitty tasting something.
Never.
I had questions when they said a cheeseburger, but that's just a calzone, and that looks delicious.
Yeah, bingo. You said nobody's
Nobody bets 1,000.
You ever go to the Pizza Hut buffets? Literally everything out there.
Delicious.
1,000.
Little slice.
Pizza, wings, that burger looks like shit.
Dude.
It's not a burger.
You sack of
I actually
bones.
don't
Just
love
don't
that
call
they're
it a
calling it a
burger.
burger.
Yeah, this may be
want a
Pizza
better
Hut's
burger.
biggest miss is calling it a burger.
Because that's going to turn people away. It turned me away immediately because when they called it a burger, if they would have just said, hey, we got a delicious calzone, I would have been all in.
We got a burger calzone.
Yeah, want a better calzone is what should be on the car.
That could be beef sausage, though, not Italian sausage.
Still.
You know, I learned about some bison sausage you could potentially get.
That's right.
Out there in the Great Plains.
We shouldn't talk about
Talked to a guy from Nebraska earlier today. Had a cowboy hat. He's fast talking. Auctioneer from Mecum, 24 years. Hey, whatever. Ain't a five, whatever. Ain't a four.
And a 3, I'm 2. So good.
He's. We're going to go spend, because we're off Thursday, Friday because the PGA Championship is on everything. And it sounds like the PGA Championship is about to be the real deal. And we don't like to do spoilers too much because who would we be to spoil the ending of things? History tells us that Rory McIlroy's winning this weekend.
That's right.
Okay?
Oh, yeah.
This close to a major championship, fresh off a win somehow, now that we're learning everything. He's doing a divorce right now. Right the fuck now.
Filed Monday of the major. Yeah, like that, man.
Wins a tournament. Okay, divorce, major. Okay, Rory McIlroy golf happening right now.
Yeah.
If you were to take a trip back in time, and we have the stats now.
2014.
Rory McIlroy had a massive breakup, very public.
Tennis player.
Yes.
Right?
Caroline Wozniacki.
Nailed it.
That was 2014. PGA Championship was where?
Valhalla.
Where's the championship at this week?
Valhalla.
Oh, boy.
He had a massive breakup then, wins PGA Championship in Valhalla, goes on to have the best year as number one golfer in the world. Divorce happening Monday, right? Wins tournament weekend before.
Yep.
Going into Valhalla again. Rory McIlroy doesn't have his mind on anything else right now but golf. This is flu game situation. Yep. This is where you don't let anything outside of anything other than golf affect your mood. You're in a new era. You're a new you. You get to pick whatever the fuck you want to focus on and do for your entire day. Rory has proven to us in the past what he's going to do in this situation is go right to the range, right to the green, right to the sand. He's going to be golfing phenomenal. He drove on 358 this past weekend. A little anger coming out with the big stick. And we don't know we assume it was his fault as well. We're not saying.
Yeah, that is not.
They're not placing blame.
We're not saying there's any blame here. Who knows how that goes? And I assume it's not easy being married to a golfer who travels 6 days a week for 48 weeks, like we saw on
Full Swing.
Yeah,
I'm a
full.
golfer.
I golf. Yeah.
I golf on Netflix. So we're not saying anything about that. But what we are saying is history has showed us that Rory's about to lock the fuck in.
Yeah.
And maybe this weekend's the time for him to get back on the major stage.
Think about it. That's like that's the only place he can go where it's kind of calm, and that's where he can go get away from everything happening around you. And that's where some of these guys seem to play their best golf, don't they? They get dialed in. They kind of get in the zone.
Yeah, they're not the only ones. There's other sports where this has happened. You know, where guys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Not just sports, happens in life too. You know, revenge bodies they talk about. You know what revenge bodies are? That's like somebody saying, "I need to fucking change." You know what I mean? And maybe there is spite for like, fuck that person, but also it's like, I get a chance to like kind of restart my entire story here. Everything can kind of new beginning. So you see people normally it's like a new year. It's like you got new rules, resolutions. Is what I'm gonna start eating healthier. I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna go to a salon and take care of myself. I'm gonna do this whole thing. I'm gonna focus in. I'm gonna get more work on. It's like that is really what happens for some people, not everybody.
Yeah.
Some people go the complete opposite direction. But I'm just saying, those who have proven to be able to do it in the past, I think we should think about.
That's always interesting, revenge body shit. And why not do that while you're in the relationship?
Yeah, how do you do that? Yeah, how do I get that motivation but not have to blow up my life?
Yeah, well, and also,
yeah, true.
Yeah, comfort, but then also I think like things just start happening. Like for instance, if the Green Bay Packers would have drafted a wide receiver in the first round, and Aaron went to those OTAs at the Jets, the conversation was about the Brew. Like, why didn't we? Hey,
when you had,
why didn't we? Why didn't we do that there? And it's because, and that's just one instance of many that is taking place.
Butterfly effect?
Other than just, no, I'm just talking about like some people just get into their ways, and then it
Yeah.
does take like a perspective to be like, all right, we got to do something different. But Rory, I think, is about to fucking be.
Yeah,
it's
Scotty just had a baby. Too,
yeah, it's breakup game versus new dad game.
Wow.
Very interesting.
That's difficult.
Rudy Gobert, most recent new dad games.
Yeah, he hasn't played very well.
Brandon
since
Carlo as well. He has scored 2 goals since having his baby.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He had the bar down.
Yes, he did.
The night
Koepka
after.
just had his first win.
Koepka, yep.
Since being a dad.
Scheffler has his beard still. He has never lost with the beard.
Well, yeah, he has no time to shave now.
Beard and a baby. Wow.
Dangerous. Is he going to be too tired because he is a newborn father?
Yeah, and with Scotty Scheffler, we assume he's that's going to be
hands-on guy.
Good dad.
Those first few
You think
weeks.
his new baby is coming to the course, though? You think they're coming to? Well, you can't fly that young, but
no chance.
My guess would be no.
Think about how
so he's gonna
happy.
get to the course, get some sleep when he gets to the course.
Bingo. That's what I was about to say. Think about Scotty.
Yeah.
Not happy that he's missing valuable time, obviously, skin to skin.
Right.
Mana, we're building.
Yep.
But also, I get to sleep. Whoa.
In a hotel or a house by myself,
And
yeah,
just
like
play
you can get some
golf?
good sleep.
Wait a minute. And
Just playing golf?
What if
That's
he's going
it?
to be better? He's going to get much better now. Holy smokes!
is anybody yelling in my ear? Just wah, no words. Just wah. Is that happening? Am I wiping poop? Is there poop? No poop.
No.
You're gonna have to fill a divot maybe or something. Okay. Yeah, I fucking can't wait to come play.
This will be great.
You guys need me for the pro-am?
Yeah. What night should I get up there?
Good weekend.
Okay, Sky, we're in for some good golf.
Pumped.
Yeah, I
The
am
majors are just so much better. Like we every year it starts with the Masters, and I feel like we relearn like, oh yeah, this is what we want in every single golf weekend, but now we only get it 4 times a year, so we got to cherish them even more.
Dude.
One a month.
So we'll be watching that golf on Thursday and Friday while we're at Mecum trying not to buy every car.
Yep.
AJ.
How many are you going to get for real? How many are you going to? What? Over under 5?
No. Come on. It's
Okay, I'll take the over. I'll take 2.5.
No, you got to remember, I'm not a big fan of dealing with shit. You know, like if there's any shit that's involved with it, like shit, I'm probably not going to do it. Like you will normally see me doing stuff where there isn't a bunch of shit, paperwork that has to be signed, insurance that has to be got, registrate, like all the shit that comes. If it was just look, buy, walk out, see you later. This is now your car. You got to write a letter for like that whole thing. Cool. There's a full on, when you buy a car, there's a lot of shit that has to happen,
Oh.
So
I thought you got I think of those things, you kind of go in with your little paddle, you get pre-approved, like boom, I'm driving home with that thing right now.
Yeah, you do. But afterwards, you got to go. Now you got to go sign
You
for
got to go
everything.
fill a bunch of shit out.
You got to go sign for it.
I got it. I'm with you. I understand that.
Just about buying a car. Like when you buy a car, the worst part of buying a fucking car is that.
Yeah.
Everything else.
The whole, this, we told you this. You got to sign.
You should talk to him. Can you tell him, hey, I'll pay $5,000 extra if you guys handle all that garbage?
Well,
they still.
I don't want to do that.
You can't, obviously.
I don't want to do that, but it's like, also, I think that's just like a part of it. Like I have to fucking.
Yeah.
When you get the title.
You acknowledge that you just spent $100,000 on a Jeep that you won't be able to drive.
Yeah.
That was me. Let me sign this one. All right, now you got to tell your bank that you're buying. Okay. All right.
Took like an hour.
It was a whole process.
After buying set or after.
Yeah, it's like a whole
set
process.
up.
That was one car, so it's like
Yeah.
It's an.
I thought maybe you get Sam the sweet truck with the flames on it, and then you were gonna get something else for yourself, possibly.
Last night we did have discussions about that.
Ooh, how sweet would you look riding that, Sam? You could drive that.
I told her, I almost got it for you. You saw the picture. No, if you didn't want it, I would have. I guess
if I had.
I guess I would have took
Yeah.
it. That thing's the bid's still going on.
Yeah.
That bid's still going
Until
on.
Gump goes back.
That's what I'm saying, Gumpy. Thursday, Friday, I think we're going to be in those state fairgrounds. They just texted me and said, yeah, we got a table or a whole.
Come on.
Whatever we.
So much fun.
It is a blast.
I can't emphasize enough how just entertaining it is.
If you like cars, you have to like cars, though.
I don't really like cars that much.
Really?
Just as a show, like there's so much going on. It's a competition too. Like you're not just sitting up there. Like there are people bidding against each other. It is so much fun. And like the aspect of, I'm sitting next to you and you could buy every single car definitely helps because I can just hey, you should get this one, get this one, get
There's
this
a
one.
lot of that.
But
I don't know how you're sitting here right now. Look at that thing, dude. And then they would rev the engine. Oh, buy it.
Get it.
I feel like I can't go because I can't buy a car right now. And if I go, I'm gonna want to buy a car. So
Well, yeah, that's part of it. Yeah, that's like you're going to a casino. You're going to Vegas. You're just writing off. Like, all right, I'm gonna lose this amount of money. I'm gonna buy a fire flame truck. I'm gonna do that. There's a chance you could spend $600,000 on a car, or at one point I think there was like a $2,000 something that they were just trying to give away. Basically, they made an announcement. If you want to fucking just come get this, you can take it up.
Should we just rent a truck to haul all of our cars after Thursday?
Oh, the car towing and transfer, that's a whole nother business.
Oh, yeah.
That's a whole...
We looked into it in Florida.
Yeah, that's a whole nother business. Well, the truck will be coming through next Wednesday. You're going to have it ready at like 4 a.m. We have no guarantees that fucker's not going to slide off and hit another one. That's great business. Can't wait to sign up for that. How much do I have to pay you? Great. Joining us now is a man who could do any business, I think, that he wanted to. Because we watched him on a roast, on a stage, with some of the most talented brains and talkers on earth. He's one of the stars of the show.
That's right.
Ladies and gentlemen, the host of Games with Names, multiple-time Super Bowl champion, future Hall of Famer from Kent State, Julian Edelman. What's up, dude?
What's up, man? AJ, every time I see your chin... I just think of Chindiana Jones, man. Just every time at the Derby, I would see you over there, bro. You just are cool.
He is.
Well, look at you, bro. Look at you lounging. Your audio sounds unbelievable, by the way. I know, obviously, your show, but yeah, in the podcast, you're doing great, man. Keep killing it.
Just trying to be like you guys, man.
Your camera looks really good too. This is a good setup. Look at the lounge.
Looks unbelievable. Very comfortable there.
Stuff back
Happily
there.
miserable.
This pro.
There's no way you're miserable right now. Look at how fucking comfortable you got to be right now. I mean, there's no way you're miserable at all right now.
Get out of here. DB, what's good?
Jules, what's good, baby? Good to see you, man. Keep killing it, brother.
Hey, we used to play these charity games, and DB could jump through the roof. We get paid $500. They'd scam the hell out of us. We'd sign 5,000 signatures, but we go make 20 grand off season.
Oh, yeah.
And DB would be out there doing 360 windmills, bro.
All right, how old were you guys whenever you were doing that, Jules?
Rookie.
22, 23.
Does that change with the New England Patriots as you grow older? Honestly, like the Pittsburgh Steelers had one of those teams where the players would go play like charity games against like high school teachers, I think in some places, and then they go play. Indianapolis Colts don't have that. I'm not sure a lot of places do. I don't think a lot of people would expect the Patriots to have that. Was that like a much different time in the Patriot way, or is that kind of a thing that maybe gets overblown a bit too much?
I think it was a thing that gets overblown. It was just a way for guys that were younger football players to make some money. Some dude out in Boston would wrangle up all the guys that were kind of new to the team, and you'd travel to like Western Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and you'd play against the firemen, or you'd play against the high school state champion. They'd sell these things out. They were fun. It was just a way to get a run for us. And get $500.
Yeah, but Bill Belichick didn't say no to that. Like that. No. That sounds like something.
That was in the off season, man. Yeah. We were in like spring ball and stuff, and I mean, you didn't go that hard. He didn't care about that.
See, that's the thing. I think we're all learning.
Do you remember that?
Oh hell yeah, I remember all those. Quick $5 grand here and there. I mean, it was easy being up in Boston. You know, you play for the Patriots. You go anywhere, show up, sign some autographs, do anything. Quick $5-6 grand, depending on who you were. It's awesome.
Yeah, Vinatieri used to tell these stories about this pizza company he would do commercials with, and then
Papagino's.
Maybe I don't know.
Papagino's.
Is that who it was? Yeah, so
probably.
He was talking about that, and because the Colts would like bring over a sponsorship opportunity in Indianapolis, and Vinny would be like, "I'm not going to do that for $750." Okay, I'm a Hall of Famer, and like he wouldn't say that, but he would just always be busy, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing anything for $750 either. And he goes, you should have seen what it was like up in Boston. He absolutely loved it. Does it feel like home still for you up there every time you go up? Obviously, you're the only one out of the group, right, that didn't go on to play somewhere else. So I feel like that love is going to be forever for you up there in Boston.
Yeah, I live in LA now because my daughter's out here. She started kindergarten, so I'm back and forth to Boston. I still have my spot there, and it's true, man. Like, it's crazy. When I leave LA, now that this is my home, I don't feel like when I come back here, it's home. But anytime I go back to Boston, I mean, I was there for 13 years. It feels like home, so, being part of that culture and that whole beast that it is, being part of a Boston sports team. I mean, it's awesome. It's a cool thing to be a part of. I mean, right now you got the Sox going, you got the Celtics, the Bruins are hanging on by threads.
By threads, unfortunately.
Yeah, Florida Panthers. That's how Florida hockey is.
Fake hockey.
They got to figure it out.
They look out, too, on that point. Even, like, as a rookie, second year, we get courtside seats to, like, playoff games. Like, I remember courtside, like, Lakers, Celtics finals.
Yeah.
On the house.
Kobe's.
Yeah, exactly. Kobe, KG, God rest his soul, like Paul Pierce. We sitting there watching legends courtside just because we, on the pad.
I thought Boston was a terrible city.
No, absolutely not. That's what everyone says because we won too much. That's just kind of how it goes when you're the city of champions.
Well, Jules, you were obviously a part of that, and let's go and talk about everything that you've, I guess, I don't want to say go through because that would be a negative connotation, but because you guys won so much, there's so much shit now. About everything. There's so much shit. Obviously, the Apple docuseries, and this roast is like maybe the greatest thing that has happened in 20. I don't know how long, but fucking phenomenal. You're one of the stars of that, Jules. Let's go. You fucking murdered up there, dude. You murdered. You knew you were gonna crush, though, right? You knew that.
I didn't. I was nervous, boys. That was very nerve-wracking. Anytime you jump into an environment with other professionals that do that for a living and have to do what they do and execute in front of 15,000 people at the Forum, on live, Netflix, whatever it was on. I mean, it's nerve-wracking, but I handled it like a football game. I worked with our team, their team. I put together like 12, 13 minutes, a bunch of jokes, and I went to the Comedy Store and I performed. Jeff Ross was a huge, help with me. He's like, hey, I know you're feeling a little nervous. Why don't you come hit the back set of my set at the Comedy Store? So I went up there, and that was like 10 times more nerve-wracking because it's super intimate, and I had a lot more jokes, and I didn't have like prompters or anything, so I was just reading off cards. So I was like terrified. Thank God I had like a group of, there's like 15 frat kids there that were like full NFL fans that laughed at anything I said, so I felt cool after the first joke.
Boys, you really helped. That was a big assist, boys. That was a big assist.
They did. Yeah. They did. It was awesome. But, going into the night of the show, it was funny because you'd be in the green room, and in our green room, it was me, Randy, Bill, Gronk, and Bledsoe. And you could tell guys were a little nervous. You know what I mean? You could tell. But everyone was trying to play it cool because we're all professionals. But it was 100% like a locker room before a game. Guys are sitting there, kikiing, a little joke here or there. But then you'd see a guy run off to the corner to go look at his jokes and practice his jokes. Gronk went to the bathroom like 4 times, I think, to run his jokes. Like it was pregame nerves through the roofs. But ultimately, it was a great experience, a fun experience, and it was kind of like a therapy session. You know what I mean?
Aired out a lot of grievances probably through the art of joke out there.
Through the art of joke.
Yeah,
through the art of joke. But it was awesome, man. It was great to see Bill there. Boy, whether there's some tension.
Yeah, well, you're talking about Mr. Kraft, I think.
There's just tension everywhere.
Yeah, no, you were talking about that one, though. That was who you were talking about.
It's everywhere.
Yeah, I watched you and Drew Bledsoe on Games with Names podcast, which is phenomenal. Talk about you trying to give the hootie-hoo to Bill whenever Robert Kraft walked into the room or whatever, and then
5-0.
Yeah, just kind of walking away and then letting it kind of all figure. Everybody knows, right? I mean, that's the elephant in the room, especially fresh out of the Apple documentary. That has to be the reason. Is that what we're thinking?
Any kind of separation, you never want to see the parents in the same room at the open house the next night. So, it's a little weird. But yeah, the whole doc, the whole letting go. I mean, it was a eventful last 3-4 months this year. So thankfully with Games and Names, we gave a perspective and had Matthew Slater, Matt Lights coming on, Drew Bledsoe, guys that Ty Law, guys that were part of the dynasty, we gave our own little thing, the inside jokes, the players' perspective, the fun that we had. Because let me tell you, it was miserable. Yeah, who doesn't like, if you're 35 or if you're 31, 32 and older, what football player ever liked their fucking coach? And excuse my language, are we past 3 o'clock or whatever?
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, I know you're in LA, you're lounging. Yeah, and what is time? Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Who liked their football? No one liked their football. Who likes a guy that makes you run a hill week 17? After you just blew someone out 30. No one likes that, but you need it and you love it. So that's what it is.
Well, we love to hear that, because I think there's a chance that a lot of coaches nowadays, and this is a much bigger conversation, we're not going to dive fully into it, but a lot of guys I think are scared to not be friends with the people that they're coaching, and I don't know if that's ever going to work. Legitimately, I don't know if that's ever going to work at the highest level, whenever people win. Accountability has to be a real thing, and the person that has to hold people accountable, not necessarily always the most liked person in the, you know what I mean? That guy kind of sucks in every conversation. So, to your point, I'd like to echo that sentiment.
Yeah, I mean, I hated my mom and dad when I had to get cough syrup, but I had a cough. I hated them. But when that cough went away, I was like, damn, maybe my parents were pretty damn good.
Yeah, good play there. Solid play there. Fair play. Go ahead, AJ.
Jules, getting back to the roast, I guess, what was your expectations going into it, and who do you think could be the next roast? I'm sure Netflix is thinking off the success of this. Hey, who do we go after next? Who can we get to commit to this? And also, lastly, was Tom. Do you know, is Tom happy with the whole situation? Does he like how it all went down?
I mean, I talked to Tom briefly. He didn't even go to the after party. Jesus Christ, Tom. We had all our guys there, and no one. I think he went off to Italy or something. But
Whoa.
I think he was happy, and I do believe they'll probably start doing more of these. I mean, it felt like comedy was kind of like coming back with what you could say here and there. And I tell you who the greatest teammate of the night was Kevin Hart, opening the thing up, bringing out his jokes. Because a lot of guys were sweating on like the barometer of where we could hit, like what subject we could go after. And, Kevin being the guy that he is, he jumped right in, hit the jiu-jitsu instructor right away. So I felt like, all right, we're good. We're good. And I think it'd be great to have like a Patrick Mahomes or something, like you got to get the biggest stars of the stars, or a LeBron I mean, it's got to be the biggest of the sport. If you're going to start doing this for athletes.
I don't know if anybody else is signing. Julian, I don't know if anybody else is signing up for that. One of the biggest things talked about Tom is Tom Brady was allowed to be coached like everybody else. So if you see Tom Brady getting yelled at on a Monday after a game, you can definitely get yelled at on a Monday after a game. So Tom is like, one of his actual traits that puts him above a lot of people is that he has like a thick skin or can take it or whatever, even though some of the shit I assume definitely hit home. I don't know any other motherfuckers that are considered GOATs are going to be doing it. Like especially after watching it, it's like, am I signing up for Nikki Glaser?
Do it?
Exactly. Like, you think Tiger's going to do it? I don't think so. I don't.
He might. I mean, yeah, I guess. But Patrick Mahomes, I think he could do it.
Yeah, especially because how beloved he is.
Yeah, for sure.
Boy,
he's beloved, and then there's also a lot of material that you could hit with Patrick Mahomes. There's a lot of material that you could hit.
Oh, yeah?
May not be Patrick. It could be the things around Patrick. But there's a lot of hittable things. It would be fun. I think he would take it right.
He would. Yeah.
When you're the guy in the situation, I think Tom comes out looking like flowers in this whole thing. You know what I mean? How he took it, and allowed the things that to be said about him in front of everyone. And I think the check was pretty good too. I don't know.
I guess that would be the only great equalizer in the entire thing. Because a couple Tom, we were just talking about Patrick Mahomes, the targets around.
Exactly.
From what we read on the internet, there were some targets around.
Few of them.
Tom, they were, So Tom didn't go to the after party. The whole Robert Kraft happy ending thing with Jeff Ross, I know it's kind of split. I assume you've already had to give was he actually, I don't think he was actually pissed about that. Do you think he was? Do you think whenever he interrupt that situation?
I was right there, and I was like, is this part of, I don't even know.
Yeah.
I really don't, but it was kind of like, I think it was played off. I don't know. I don't know for a fact. I think it was a play.
Hey, we're a few days removed from this. You still don't have a fucking answer. You're
I
still
still don't have a clue.
You still don't know.
I still don't have a clue. Like I said, Tom's in a different time zone right now. I think he's doing like a boat race in Italy, or I think one of his teams. He's got something going.
Yeah, pickleball game.
Nowhere to be found. 7 rings. Yeah, that's what I get when he sends me the voicemail.
Hey, you did great for him on Sunday, though. Ty has a question for you.
Jules, when it comes to the whole Brady-Bill situation, does it get exhausting how, like, media or whoever's talking about it, like, they only think that guys that were there can be in one camp? Like, you can't be a Brady and a Belichick guy. You know, like you just said, like, yeah, obviously a lot of guys, they fucking hate their coach, but you respect the shit out of Bill, clearly. But, like, does that ever get exhausting or piss you off, how it's like, hey, you can either only be in Brady's camp or you can only be in Belichick's camp? And I don't think we've heard anyone who has been like, hey, I was a Belichick guy. I wasn't necessarily a Brady guy.
Yeah, it is very exhausting. You know, and if you talk to a lot of the older generation guys, you know, they were around Tom Brady before he was Tom Brady. And you know, they understand it too. And then it got to a point, and it's hard to even explain this because you don't want to go on a tangent where it's very exhausting, dude. Like, seriously.
All right, so whose side were you on? Just say you're Tom, yeah, forever, yeah, fuck Bill Belichick.
I mean, I live in Brentwood because Tom fed me the rock, but I was the football player I was because Bill Belichick coached me the way he coached me. So, I mean, it was both. I mean, Bill drafted me. He took an opportunity to take a quarterback out of Kent State who could barely throw the fucking the ball, and turn me into.
Tell it to the Ravens.
Yeah. Not only throw, a guy can fucking punt return too.
What?
Most dangerous.
Play DB sometimes too.
Yeah, play
couple DBs.
Play safety.
But you know what I mean? I love them both. I really do, and I really do feel like the kid that, you know, has to talk about mom and dad after the divorce.
Well, you're doing a great job. You're doing a great job. And I think you're allowed to respect and appreciate both sides of it. You know, I think that is completely okay. But society, normally, you know, we got to go one
Maybe
way.
The roast, though, will kind of be the end of that. And
Yeah, because
it won't necessarily be like, hey, it has to be one or the other.
No, now it's Kraft or Bill. You
True.
know?
Oh,
Yeah, so now
what if this happens? What if, and this is a conspiracy, or this is just a theory.
We love these.
What if, like, Raiders go down a shithole this year, which they're on par to do. And all of a sudden, Tom gets his 10% and hires Bill to go be the head coach of the Raiders. They bring some, like, that's some shit that could happen, I bet.
Tom's Bill's boss.
Wow, AP out after 1 year.
Jeez, that would be wild for AP.
Yeah.
Lombo, new GM.
That'd be wild, but could that not happen maybe?
Well, I mean, Tom Telesco, imagine GM just getting
see you later,
1
TT.
year.
Because of the roast?
Because
brought them together?
Because Julian Edelman delivered a Foxborough High School joke that nobody else on earth could do. That sounds like something he said to fucking everybody. That's what I heard. When I heard every player go up there and, like, most of them were like Foxborough High, it's like, oh, that was every fucking day. That sounded like that was every day of practice is what I heard from those jokes.
Oh, if there was any kind of fundamentally dog shit play, like just an easy play, like a wide route or a drop ball, it would be the kid down at Foxborough High, or it would be like fucking me and Ernie could make that fucking throw. And Ernie, you guys know of Ernie.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I know DB's heard that a few times.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus fucking Christ, just play his goddamn hands, DB. You don't gotta get nervous. Just play his hands.
I bet it sounds so simple.
What's that?
So
He
everything.
makes
Is
it
just,
This is
the
all
crazy
you need
thing
to know.
is, though, we would be. Bill would say some shit on like a Friday, like the keys to the games, and DB can second this. And he'd say, all right, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. If we do these two things, this will happen. And then this will happen. And we'd come in on Monday and it would go just as he said. I'm like, gee, and we'd all sit there and look at each other like, this motherfucker, how did he know that?
insane.
Like,
we would have Sunday meetings Like, coming in, we didn't do this at any other team I was on, but Sunday we'll come in and have a quick meeting before the game, and he will just come in, hey, expect some hurry up at some point early in this game from the offense, blah, blah, just like Jules said, and you'll go out there and it would just happen. Every time, like 99% of the time, like, how the fuck does this dude do this shit?
Think about this, Jules, and I know you made a joke out of it, and we don't love it either. I can't wait to hear you and Bill talk, and that should be a whole documentary in of itself. He's joining us every single Monday. It's like I've heard about these tales that people have said. Like Lombo's come on and been like, you should see the notes that we have for the game, which you guys ran that fake punt. You should see what he said was going to happen in that game whenever it took place. And I'm like, oh, does he say that we're going to run potentially the worst play in the history? He goes, in different words. Yeah. He certainly says something like that. And it's like, I feel like he's still going to want to do that, though. Like the amount of preparation that he has given to football over the last, 40, 50 years? Of just like, I don't know how he ever shuts that off. You know him a lot better than I do. That's never going to happen, right? He's never going to be able to shut this off?
No, I think he's going to take this year as an opportunity to, self-scout himself. Like, he's going to sit back and look at his probably 20 years, and he's going to see what he did right, what he did wrong, what he could work on. And then he's going to stay super involved with the game because I think he still wants to coach. So he's going to stay very involved and probably break, for whatever segment you guys are going to do, he's going to break down the game as if he was preparing. And you saw that when he went on to your guys' pre-draft special.
It was stupid.
I mean, he was still in it, and he was still evaluating the guys, and people are all like butthurt on how he was talking about Drake May, but that's how it's talked about in the war room when there's no cameras. All right, this is what we got to work on. The guy doesn't have 5 years. He doesn't have enough experience. He needs to work on this. Yeah, he's got this, and this, but he needs to work on this, and that's what you need to find in that room because that's how you develop players. You need to find out. If you just work hard, that's something Bill used to say all the time. He would say stuff like, you can't just go work hard. You can't just go run 50 sprints. That ain't going to do anything for your game. What you need to do is you need to find a coach, a mentor, a peer, find out at what you have to work on and work hard at that. That's how you improve. So that's the kind of mode he's always in. We have such a sense, we saw it in the locker room my older years, it's a sensitive generation coming up where they expect to be pat on the ass for doing your job when that's not how it was with Bill. We were always looking, how do we get better? Let's try. Yeah, we made a 20-yard bow route throw. Yeah, this is National Football League. You're supposed to be able to run that route. You're supposed to make that throw. Now, how do we make the 40-yard stalk post, how we make that goddamn play? That's what it is. It's about getting better, and that's the grind of the NFL. And I know it's been changing. I don't know any different, but that's what he is. He's a machine.
Intentional working, like that. There's a purpose for everything that you do instead of just wasting your energy. It's like every story we hear about his leadership and his coaching is like always just drive. Like, hey, there is never a finish line here. We are always going and going and going. And you talked about what he said about Drake May. He said that about fucking everybody, Jules.
Everyone.
He had 50 tapes ready. 50 fucking tapes, okay? There's no way we're going to be able to show those. Never. Never going to be able to show them. And only 32 draft picks. But even them, we're not going to be able to show all of them because of the timing or whatever. And he was like, I get top 50, no problem. It's like, this motherfucker's scouting everybody in this draft.
Nuts.
He is still scouting everybody in this draft so that he knows if he was to get back in it, he's not going to skip a year of talent out there that he didn't do any research on. But I think he was enjoying trying to figure out what every player could do to become the best version of themselves. Yeah. And that was kind of what the videos all were. Like, hey, need this. And it was like 35% good for most of these.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then 65% bad. When normally on draft night, it's like 85% good and like 15% gonna have a long road, gonna have to work a little bit. But it was like every single person except for Tom Brady and Peyton Manning.
You see his note?
Yeah, good.
It's so funny because I used to go. I knew Chatty O'Shea's Exos password, so I'd use like the coaches cut ups because then you could get like you'd see Bill's notes on like a play. So they break up. You guys know how it goes. You break up the play. You get the formation, the front, the coverage, the situation, and they have it all pretty much like excelled out. And then you'd have BB's comments. You'd have JD's or Josh McDaniels comments, and it would be so funny. You'd see good accuracy, and then there'd be like some terrible dog shit play. And it would just be in all caps, WTF, question mark, WTF, what are we doing? Like,
what the fuck? What the fuck? What are we doing? Him typing it. He was trying to get the amount of WTFs and
WTF, question mark, covered like a blanket. No one open. Like, it'd be so funny on just his notes. I used to get off. I would just go watch the film just to read his notes.
Yeah, he was prepared. NFL Films put together. Him and NFL Films worked together. Go ahead.
That also gave you a kind of a taste of what every opening meeting was like the team meeting when we used to go to the 8:00 meeting or 7:45 meeting whenever we'd start. That's what Bill would do. He'd address the team for 45 to 50 minutes as a whole team. Now, I don't know how it is on other teams, but I've talked to other guys where they just break up O&D. He would break down every phase of the game. He'd have like a 45 play cut up in our team meeting to get ready for the day. And he'd break down 14 plays of offense, 14, maybe 17 plays of defense, always more defense. He's a defensive guy. We all know that. And then like 13 plays of special teams. And he would go through this and address the team every day on what we had to do because he had the vision for what we wanted to be. And that's like half of it. Like, what are we going to be? What are we going to prepare for? A lot of guys don't know how to do that. It's funny.
His film was awesome. I mean, he was like, I didn't want to put anything on his plate. We were just pumped he was going to be there. Like if he was just sat there and had one word every 10 minutes, great.
Sweet.
You got fucking Bill Belichick here. But he was like, so how many plays do you want me to put film together of all these guys? And I'm like, okay, so you're putting film together of all these guys. He was like, well, I don't know. Is that what you want me to fucking do? And I'm like, you just said you wanted to do that? He was like, well, it's not my fucking show. It's like, okay. I would love for you to put together film on these guys. Well, how many plays? I'm like, all right. Two plays each. I'm not going to be able to tell a story with 2 plays. Okay. All right, we'll do 3 plays. He goes, 3 plays would be good. All right. And then he comes back. He's like, some guys, if I do a little bit more, a little bit less, it's okay. I'm like, Bill, literally, whatever the fuck you want to do, all good, And he's like, well, it's not my show. I'm like, Bill, this is your show. You are the football. Yeah, you are the show. So he wanted to do it. And I genuinely believe that when he was breaking it down, because he knows everything. He fucking knows everything. He's going to act like he doesn't, I think, but he does. He knows who's seeing what, how they're seeing it. I'm like, hey, the fans of the teams that draft these players are going to see this. What you say is going to be their thoughts on the player. Like, that is just going to become their new thoughts. So I think whenever he was breaking it down, he was trying to reach the player too. That was like, hey, here's my thoughts on you as a player as well. It was cool to kind of watch it. And then his personality, this motherfucker's hilarious, Jules. I assume you knew that. Obviously, everybody knew that behind the scenes. I think the world is just finding that out right now.
Yeah, it's been real fun to see him go out and show the personality he has. Now, it's a dry humor, and you see how he kind of humiliated Amendola in the roast. That's how he would get on guys. That's how he would get on guys. He'd go, "Oh, yeah, 250 last year. That's a good half for fucking Rain." Because he's seen so many different players and he remembers all the plays that it's funny to get to see him show kind of what it's like in film. Now it gets a little crazier, but the PG version, it's been very fun because I think people are reacting to it. It's been really good to see him just get out and kind of show people the narrative. There's a narrative out right now about him, oh, this guy's so old, he can't fucking coach.
Curmudgeon, yeah.
There's no collaborative. Bill, if you have information, Bill will take information from anyone.
Oh yeah.
But if you fuck him on that information and it's not real information, you're gone. So the whole collaborative thing, like if you want to collaborate, let's just have good information. Let's have a good scheme. Let's have a good play that works. You know, that's how he is.
Hey, listen, if your idea is better than mine, we will certainly use it. Now, if your idea is shit and it doesn't work out, there's a chance we don't use your ideas for a little bit.
See you later.
Okay? Ever again.
Ever again. Never, ever again. Charge it to the game.
Yeah.
Charge it to the game. Go ahead, AJ.
Jules, how do you think it's going to be with Mayo there taking over? Obviously, huge shoes to fill. Like, how is it going to be? What do you think he's going to take with him that he learned from Bill, and like what kind of new things do you think he's going to inject into that whole franchise?
I'm excited for Gerard. I mean, I just saw what he said about Drake May.
That's sweet though.
With
Mac Dre is a sick name.
We can leave Mac. We can leave Mac for sure.
Oh yeah, Mac's do well.
We'll just do Drake.
I'm a
May.
Bay Area guy, and then there's Mac, and then now we got Drake and all this shit, whatever. But I'm excited. You could already see he's starting to use some of that Belichick tone when he said, when he addressed the media about Drake May, and he said, "Oh, well, he has a lot to work on." Like, so you could see that he's using that. He was one of the smartest football players I played with. I had that little stint where I played defense, and I knew what I always had to do, but I just needed to confirm it with Gerard every play, because that's the kind of guy Gerard was. He would be able to put everyone in position. He was always great in the locker room. He was a great leader. He could communicate with everyone. And I think he's going to bring something different than what Bill had. Is just the way he communicates is going to be different. He's probably going to be more like a leader or a captain coming down and talking to like a young buck, where you put the arm around him and kind of like love him up. That's the kind of guy he was. And I'm sure he's probably going to bring that to his coaching style. But he's definitely, I mean, it's going to be insane to watch.
Could you imagine following Bill Belichick?
That's what I mean.
And Elliot Wolf, too. Elliot Wolf
Bill Belichick with a rookie quarterback.
Yeah, and then
no playmakers. Like, what are we doing?
Okay, so Connor has a question for you, actually.
I mean, I wouldn't say no playmakers, Jules. I mean, they got a couple guys in the draft.
Well, I like Bourne. I like Hunter, and I like some of these guys, but they need a blue chip guy that can go down the field. You don't have Tom Brady to be able to just dissect right now. You got a young buck that needs to be loved up, and he needs to have a bunch of little things he could throw to make him feel safe.
Well, let's remember too. They drafted the guy who led the country in receiving yards per catch, and I know you're happy about number 11 Tyquan Thornton. I think he's going to have a great year. But looking at the whole,
can we be on the field? If we're going to give the sticks out, can we stay on the field?
Give the sticks out.
This
is his year, Jules. Okay, but
if we're going to get the sticks out. Have you described 11 as the sticks? Your whole, yeah, that's great.
I mean, you're gonna drop the sticks. You better. Can we not have a hamstring? I mean, I know Bill's Mr. Soft Tissue hate guy. Guy hates a soft tissue more than anything I've ever. We used to have to do all these goddamn hydration tests, these tests, that test because of fucking soft tissue.
Yeah.
Just drink some water.
Headaches, too, I think, are
I'm sorry
potentially.
for cutting you off. It's clearly a sore subject.
No, the sticks need to be on the field if they're going to be worn.
Yeah.
That's what I just heard.
Yes, and they're going to be this year. He's going to have a huge year. But, Jules, we haven't really talked about the doc as much, and obviously the reaction to it was one thing. But when you were watching it, what was the feeling, kind of reliving everything, especially, your catch against the Falcons, winning Super Bowl MVP, even though they really didn't talk about the good stuff. That stuff was kind of glossed over. But what were your feelings watching that? And then also when you saw what Brady was like, his rookie year, coming in those early years and how he acted, how much different was his transition from when you were, on the team versus from when, Vrabel and those guys were giving him shit?
Yeah. My thoughts were, this thing's pretty Hollywooded out, clickbaity. That was my initial thought. I mean, I wasn't really on there because I wasn't talking shit about Bill.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you look at all the guys that were on the damn thing, they're talking shit about, and I love it. I love it because, we're all talking about it. So it's clearly a great production for what they were trying to get out of it. Going to the Brady question, seeing Tom when he was a young buck, I mean, we always heard the stories, and I was really close with a lot of the guys, the Lonnie Paxtons, and I played with Matt Light, Steve Neal. Early in my career, there were those guys that were there. So they always kind of reminded me. And then when it transitioned to the point where he was like larger than life for like a young football player, I kind of took a role where I would humanize him and like make fun of him in the locker room and like always be on him, just because that was like the only time anyone would really talk to him, because everyone was too scared to talk to him. And you got to think about it. You know, when we're 2 Super Bowls in during my stint, the guy's been in the league for like 19, 18 years. You know, a kid who's 21, 22 years old comes in, has been watching this guy. Like, if Tom gets on him, the guy could put his tail in between his leg and like go, like he couldn't take it because it's Tom Brady. So like that whole dynamic that the Vrabels and the Brewskis and Ty Law and Kevin Falk and Troy Brown, those guys, how they treated him, it transitioned to like a group of guys that would still bust his balls to try to make him feel like a human around the other guys. Like, and it made him feel comfortable.
Yeah. I couldn't even imagine.
I don't know, did that work?
Yeah, it did. I was just trying to think about the 21-year-old who would be so scared.
Mm-hmm.
That's like
so scared.
With Peyton, I saw that with Peyton, like, you know, obviously in our locker
100%.
And he would come over and like introduce himself to everybody. It's like, we fucking know. But I think he like felt obligated to kind of be. It's hard to remain a human. Isn't it crazy? At that position, the whole world is hoisting you up into your whole life. Now, Tom, obviously different, pick 199. But it's like Peyton, since he was a little kid, was like, this guy's going to be an NFL quarterback. So, like, the teachers are talking to him whenever he's in elementary school, like he's going to be a fucking NFL quarterback. Middle school, high school, obviously through college, Heisman, NFL, here we go. It's like, it's got to be hard to remain human. And then you add in the fact, Tom Brady's so handsome.
Yeah.
So fucking handsome. And one, so I couldn't even imagine. That's why he starts eating all that weird shit, right? Because he feels like he has to somehow get better. But then how do you remain a human? I do not know. I don't know how those dudes do it, legitimately. And like Serena, think about like Serena. You become like almost detached from reality.
Oh, yeah.
Too, like you almost have to be. It's crazy. And I couldn't even imagine with Tom what it became. And obviously you've seen it firsthand. It had to be crazy as well.
It was super crazy. I mean, when I was a rookie, I was 22 years old. The guy had 3 Super Bowls. He's married to like the biggest supermodel in the world. And I remember that moment, like you just said, the first time I met him. Like I dropped my goddamn 10-inch ring playbook when we used to have playbooks. Dropped that thing. Like, God damn, this dude is handsome and tall. Cool. Look at this dude.
Yeah.
You know, and the cool thing about Tom is he's honestly like he's a very genuine dude, and he knows guys' names, and like he talks to guys because he knows what situation he's in.
Yeah.
You know, he knows how guys look at him, and he would always kind of he would take time out to like mess with guys a little bit here and there, like, and have conversations with guys, because you know when you're in that stratosphere of where he's at the point where, and I'm sure Peyton was the same way, where these guys are trying to get every minute out of the day of trying to get themselves better. Like, and everything's planned out. Like, all right, these 2 hours are for my body. These 3 hours, I'm going to break down the 2 opponents we got going here. I want to work on this technique on practice. Like, these guys are so calculated. For them to take time out of their schedule or their routine to like sit and say, "What's up? How you doing, bud?" Yeah, you know what I mean? Like that's a big thing.
Yeah, but that's scheduled in. They schedule that in.
Yeah.
All right, 9 to 9:30 tomorrow morning. A little fuckery around the locker room. Maybe sit in a card game real quick. Let them know you still got it if you had to. All right, go keep it moving. There was another human who's celebrating a birthday today, I do believe. I found out via your Twitter account. The big Gronk. What a machine. Okay, what an absolute football machine. And obviously spiking China shot glass, and then somebody. That's a whole nother conversation. Had a baby Gronk.
That's Gronk.
Had a baby Gronk.
That's Gronk.
Well, he was getting attacked obviously all night. He went up there, did his thing. I appreciated him celebrating the joke that he wrote. I do appreciate his delivery. I like him saying, even though everybody thinks I'm a big dumb fucking dipshit. I enjoyed his self-awareness during the roast as well. For those of us that only see. Yeah, all I see Gronk doing is having a blast. That is literally the only thing I've ever seen Gronk do. I don't think there's ever been any other video that I've seen than Gronk just fucking dominating a moment and having more fun than anybody. You think he is like a big 13-year-old, like that, who happens to be one of the smartest football players to ever play and one of the most gifted athletes to ever play, top 100 player, and he was still playing, I think the only person that got that title in the history of the NFL. Can you describe him to somebody that maybe has never met him? Like us, for instance, that don't really...
Yeah, you remember that book, Clifford, the big red dog?
Yeah.
That's Gronk, bro.
Okay.
As happy as can be, always having a good time. And this whole thing that he's a dum-dum is ridiculous. The guy's actually a savant with numbers. And it's crazy. I used to bust his balls all the time. I'd walk down the hallway and I'd drop like a math problem. Like, what's the square root of 144? He'd be like 12. Because anytime we would talk contracts or something, when you got a State of the Union in a locker room when some guy just got paid or something. You got these little State of the Unions in certain lockers, and we'd sit there, and we'd be doing math on how much a dude just got, and Gronk would knock it out right away. He's getting 13.5 a year. It was crazy. The guy knows numbers, so he's a genuine dude. He's great to always be around, and he gets a rap for always partying, but he's actually a health nut. He'll sit there. And you could see him calculating the calories when he's eating something, and he's making a decision on if he should take a third bite or he shouldn't eat it. He does that kind of shit. He's crazy.
Yeah, he's
but
jocked.
an actual health nut.
Absolutely.
Whenever he has fun, it's just public always, and it's once or twice a year. It's just because he's Gronk and he has a lot of fun. But he's actually a health nut. He doesn't party as much as you think.
Always good
First
vibes.
3 years, we were all pretty nuts. His first 3 years, but then after that, he started getting surgeries and stuff. He changed his life completely around. Got on that whole TB12 thing.
Oh, how do you feel about the TB12 thing? A lot of jokes sent to Alex Guerrero. Big pops out of him in the crowd.
He was loving it.
He loved it. Yeah.
Mouth open laughs from Alex Guerrero.
I love Alex.
Okay, good.
I love Alex. I would incorporate a lot of their stuff, their techniques, their body work, some of their dietitian or whatever, their diet restrictions. I would incorporate a lot of it. And he is a smart guy, Alex Guerrero. Tom believes anything he says. And he played forever, so as a young player, you have no choice but hey, yeah, I'm gonna believe him too.
Yeah. The way you said that,
Yeah.
He could literally say, Tom, if you eat this dog shit right here, it's going to make you better. Tom would eat it. I'm not joking.
What if it made him better?
Yeah, then
guess what?
Everybody's eating
We're
dog.
putting some avocado dog shit.
Jokes on you.
Alex, I'm joking, bro. I love you.
Alex wouldn't do that. Alex wouldn't do that. Alex
we
wouldn't
love
do that.
Alex.
Big pop. Alex got a big pop out of that, I bet.
He did.
Open mouth pop. He was laughing. That fucker was laughing. He was laughing. That was good. I appreciated how much he was laughing.
Those guys would sit. They would sit and look at timing of everything, on when he could eat, when he could sleep, when he needed body rest. It was when we say a machine and not human, it was real, bro.
Yeah, it worked.
The guy would sit and smell the chicken wings the night before the game. Well, the linemen are over there taking down chicken wings because we always had the same food. At the hotels, you have the same food every pregame meal. And there'd always be chicken wings, and you see Tom just sit there, and he loved a chicken wing, and he just had to use that mental toughness and that chin strength, just walk right by it, and just give it a smell only. Because he lives it. Hey, he preaches the TB12 shit, but he lives it, man.
Yeah,
he really does live it. That's why you respect him.
That's good discipline. That's good discipline.
Yeah,
that's why you smell it, close your eyes, swallow even a fake swallow. Oh, I just had a bite.
So good.
Oh, give me fucking
Like, what is it, Tony Perkins or the guy who'd eat the cheese pizza or that he'd spit it out? Or was that heavyweights or dodgeball?
Yeah, fuck Chuck Norris. What a moment there for Ben Stiller. He had a hell of a run.
Yes, he's back.
Hell of a run. Hey, sorry about your Knicks, Stiller. Anyways, D-Butt's got a question for you, football.
I got a ball question. Yeah, obviously you came in, former quarterback in college, had to learn how to play that wide receiver position. What's like that transition for young guys, especially the guys coming in now, expect to be one straight out of the gate? Marvin Harrison, Malik Neighbors, even probably Polk or Baker up there in New England. What's that transition like coming into the league?
Well, the transition these last 4 or 5 years has been at a level that we've never really seen. And I think it's because of the information that these kids have these days. Like, it used to be folklore on how you used to train for an NFL season through the stories of how Jerry Rice used to run 30 miles uphill both ways and do this and do that. Now you could just hop on someone's Instagram and check out what they're doing at this time right now, like your favorite receiver. So, like, the information has helped these guys transition. When I was transitioning, I had to go against real athletic jokers like you in rookie camp. And, it was tough because I had no clue what I couldn't even get in a receiver stance. And you're over here, giving me a offhand jam to my goddamn throat. In a rookie camp, you and Patrick Chung.
Oh, wow.
I almost fought Patrick Chung in that rookie camp. You remember that? PC?
Oh yeah, both you guys always on 100. But those are great days. That's why that's when you had to build it. But you came in. I mean, shit. You had Randy Moss on one side. You had Wes Walker, the slot that you had to learn from. You were obviously punt returner early, like that was Joey Galloway, who a lot of people don't remember. He was out there for training camp.
Lewis,
crazy. It was crazy,
Joey
man. So,
Galloway. Have you seen him?
No, still yoked.
All right.
By the way,
he's fucking swinging an axe. Joey Galloway's swinging an axe 52. In Ohio right now.
Heavy.
Jack, dude.
He was still running like 4.3. He was like 38.
What a dog. Now he just golfs every day and chops down fucking trees.
Yeah.
What a dog. Anyway, sorry about that. Go ahead.
But this transition, like I was saying, it's gone a lot better from when I got into the league, just because of all the information we have these days. But as a younger football player trying to get on the train right away, I would always tell guys this, because this is what I heard from the Fred Taylors of the world, the Kevin Falks of the world. They said, there's going to be mistakes made. And you're going to make a mistake. You just can't make the same mistake twice, because coaches are looking at that too. And that's a form of evaluating a player. We expect him to make a mistake. Does he learn from the mistake? Can he not make that same mistake again? And a lot of it is the mental aspect of the game for a lot of these younger football players, being able to take things from the classroom to the drills they build in for what we're installing that day, to the 7-on-7 or the competitive period, the 1-on-1 or the 7-on-7s or the pass block drills, to the team drill. Like, can you take things and be able to process it at a level that they're going to be able to trust you when it comes to like a game week? Because a lot of these teams are game plan teams. We all have a base of plays if you're on the offensive side that you'll always pick and choose from. But you're also, if you're in a system that evolves their offense throughout the season, you got to be able to take things from the classroom and be able to install it and not have to worry about it and go from there. So I would say, just for these younger football players, that transition period of trying to jump on the train of the NFL, you're going to make mistakes. You just can't make them twice. And be in that playbook, because the faster you learn your playbook, the faster you know what the defense is doing. That's when you get to use your athletic ability. That's when the game slows down and you get to use the speed or your quickness or your superpower. Whatever your superpower is, you can't use it until you know what you got to do.
Yep.
And you know what they're doing. So, like, that's the main thing for these younger football players when they're trying to come in and be an impact player or contribute at any kind of level.
As the great Coach Sirianni said, less thinking, more athlete take over.
Bingo.
That's what he said in his opening press conferences. That was the goal, to get the Philadelphia Eagles all to a point where they're doing less thinking, more athlete take over. And I think that's what you're talking about, learning your playbook so you don't have to think.
The only way that could happen, though, is if you rep it right. Because if you rep it right, practice execution becomes game reality. So it's already in your subconscious once you see it in the situation that you practice and practice. Then it becomes like Scotty O'Brien used to say, like deja vu.
Practice execution becomes game reality.
Stole that from Bill. Ask him about that.
Yeah, fuck yeah. We all steal shit from our coaches. You know what I mean? Yeah. The ball's the program, baby. I mean, we are talking about it all. For practice execution is game reality.
Ask him, like, Coach, how would you address turnovers to the team? Like, Bill would sit there, he goes, look, if you have the football in your hand, you have everyone in the Foxborough region. That's 6 states. 5.5. You have everyone in this building. You have everyone in this building's family's fate in your hands. That's what he would say.
That's pretty serious. Ball's the program. It's a little bit more than that.
Love it.
Ball's a little bit more than program, because the program means a lot of things to a lot of people. For this question, it's my last one. And I hate to even bring it up, because when it gets brought up, there's always a debate, and it brings out like a bunch of people that don't know. I think you're a Hall of Famer, okay? Is that something that you even think about, or, crosses your mind? I think you were the most...
I'm asked every day. I'm asked, like, everyone always asks.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I hate fucking asking, just because it gets brought up. But I would like to be on the record as stating that I think you deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, not just because of what you're able to do at wide receiver for the New England Patriots. Punt returner, you were a fucking nightmare. You were an absolute nightmare. And then you played fucking defense.
Yeah.
And then you have some of the biggest plays in the history of football, and you got rings.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't even understand what the conversation is, but I do assume you get asked a lot, so I apologize for doing that. But has it become something you've become desensitized to one way or the other?
Yeah. That's for other people to decide. That's not what I decide. That's just how the award works, or whatever it is, or you know what I mean? And you look at my regular season, I probably didn't have the numbers for it. The postseason, whatever, it's different.
The games that matter, it's a little different.
The biggest
ones,
it's a little different.
Yeah.
But people also don't understand, when you guys will see, you open the season up with 30, 40 catches in the first 3 games, we got to break tendencies. So then you don't see The Rock for 3 games, because, we're trying to prepare for the playoffs potentially. I don't know.
Yeah, that could be. You look at the stats, maybe. We're trying not to become too one-track.
It's hard to get stats when you're blowing everyone out. It's hard to get stats when you're running it out in the second half.
Well, that whole postseason stats not counting thing, like Vinatieri's points in the playoffs didn't count whenever he was trying to become the all-time leading scorer. It's like the ones that we see, the ones that are on all the highlights, the biggest ones of all time, those don't count, just regular season. It's like, that makes no sense. And then whenever people talk about you, they're like, yeah, he was great in the playoffs and in Super Bowls. Okay, where was he in August? That's what I want. And it's like, how is that our conversation we're having? And then when other people are up for it, it's like, all we're asking about is
how many rings?
How they doing in the playoffs. It's like a never-ending circle. But I think you've deserved it and earned it, and we appreciate you taking a fucking hour here on this glorious Tuesday, brother.
Is it an hour? It's been an hour. Time flies when you're having fun, boys.
You look so casual. You look so casual. Maybe the most casual human we've ever had on this program.
I just got done with the workout. Now I'm about to go pick up my daughter at school. Or no, I don't. Not today. I was just dropped her off.
It's okay. Yeah, doing great.
All right.
Casual. Yeah. What is time?
Just worked out.
What is
time?
What is time?
What is time?
It's all
construct.
Okay.
Amen.
Meant by who? Who put that in?
Yeah.
Who put the construct in? Not us. People trying to control us, Jules.
You see those cleats right there?
Yes, sir.
I stole that from Tom Brady. Those are the last cleats you ever wore in New England.
Wow.
I hope they make like a documentary, or they have like the FBI try to find those. Like they found that jersey. We still don't know who killed Tupac.
Well, he's never going to get those back because he won't come on your show. So
bingo.
100. Look at right there. 1/2 of the hammer.
Dahn. We do appreciate you knowing that. Golden Auction's going to try to get those cleats. Golden Auction's going to try to get those.
Or Mecum.
Or Mecum. They do with cars, but they'll put wheels on those fucking things.
No doubt. Make them roller skates.
And they will auction those off.
It's not my favorite thing though. It's my favorite thing is the I stole Matthew Slater's inhaler. He used to always he was an asthma guy, and Steve Urkel before
you said fuck
before
you don't
practice,
need this.
Slate would be in there doing a prayer, and then he'd go out to practice every day. DB knows what I'm talking about.
Slate dog, absolute
Slate
legend.
dog,
another Hall of Famer.
Amen.
Yep, Hall of Famer
for
Amen,
sure.
dude. How many years did he play as the best gunner in football?
12, 16, 17.
Like
16?
I understand corner is the most athletic position, but to be a gunner, you got to be like so fast, so quick, so powerful, so strong. Tough. And everything he did on tough. Everything he did on special teams for 6, he's the best in the league.
He can still play.
Yeah, I think he could
His
run
wife
the league
got
too.
mad at him.
He could run the league too, right? Couldn't he?
Bring him back.
Yeah, no, I think he's working with the Patriots, so that's a great addition to have him in the building.
So his wife didn't want him to play anymore, but you go coach, I guess.
Well, he can't play anymore because Jules stole his inhaler.
Yeah, the guy can't fucking breathe. The guy can't breathe anymore. Yeah,
His wife still running 22.
Well, the wife got mad
Still running
because
22.
He was dying every day of asthma because he didn't have his fucking
Yeah.
inhaler. Where were they? They're next to Tom Brady's cleats that I stole. Julian, you're a menace, dude. You're a fucking menace. Well, you crushed it at the roast. You're killing it every day.
Appreciate it,
Seems like you're enjoying the hell out of life, which is great news. You've earned it all, pal. We appreciate you.
All right, fellas, take care.
Ladies and gentlemen, Julian.
Jules.
So casual.
Yeah, so cool.
I'll tell you what, I have gotten into a spot, though, after a workout where it's like the whole body feels good. Like maybe a half lean on like a couch.
Sure.
Like he is in there.
Mhm.
And that seemed to be a good setup for him to do the lean.
Yeah.
With the way the mic was. So that body was a little sore, and he sat down and was like,
it feels
perfect.
Yep, not moving from here.
Nailed it.
Not moving. All you psychos still working out like you guys are in the league. AJ does every single morning.
Yep. Mhm.
D-Butts is still jacked. JJ Watt still got 5 fucking...
Doing sprints.
Doing sprints, yeah. I appreciate you guys. Hey, way to go, boys. Thank you for doing it for us.
Slater is the big dom of New England now, though. He will be that character for Mayo.
Oh, okay. He'll be the one saying that.
He's his right hand.
I'll get smacked in the mouth, not you.
Yeah, bingo. Exactly.
His pops was a Hall of Famer, too.
Oh, yeah. I sat at a round table discussion with his pops. And
Good
Roger
dude.
Goodell.
Holy shit.
Wow.
And many other legends, gold jackets, and OGs of the game. And I don't know why I was asked to be in there. There was no way I was talking.
Nominated.
No, I was just doing the draft pick. So it was happening at the draft. And it wasn't even the Colts that asked me to do the draft pick. The NFL asked me, would you like to do the Colts third round draft pick or whatever? I'm like, fuck yeah, I would love to do that. Thanks. They had a full day. You want to come in early? We got a roundtable discussion with the commissioner and some other NFL alumni and everything like that. And then you go out, we'll get on a bus, we'll go over there do that. I'm like, sure, yeah, fucking do it. Nashville is right down the road. We go there. I'm in this roundtable discussion for 45 minutes. It was hot. It was high tensions.
Contentious.
High tensions. Slater's dad was pretty. He was one of the big time talkers in the back. He was overlooking everybody, going, "Well, and what about a lot of those? And what about?" And then somebody else over here. Oh yeah, last time we did this because I guess this happens maybe yearly, and I think the similar guys are invited, and then there's like doofuses like me that are like sprinkled in and then brought out, and then they're kind of they were not happy about stuff. All revolved around insurance.
Okay. Makes sense.
45 minutes straight.
Funny enough.
I did offer something up at the very end. My idea about like, can't one of these companies just sponsor NFL alumni insurance? You guys have more insurance companies doing deals with you than ever. Just make some of these NFL OGs do fucking commercials and then just offer that thing maybe from 5 years to 15 years. And then just have an insurance company be a part of the entire thing. The NFL is the hero. And they go, okay. Anything else?
Put a pin in that one.
Everybody just left.
Definitely needed.
Players didn't say anything. Roger Goodell didn't say anything. We're talking about fucking dry room. And it was over. That was the first time I opened my mouth. First time,
They
45
were
minutes.
speechless. It was such a good idea. They were speechless.
No,
Sounds
I
like.
think I saw somebody like tap the table. All right.
All right, that's enough for today.
Okay.
All right.
Like when your kid has a great idea or something, like your 8-year-old kid. Okay.
That'll work.
Stick around.
Yeah, that'll work. Okay,
Yeah.
good idea. Yeah, that's for the fucking NFLPA. All right, this is what Roger was thinking. All right, let's get the hell out of here. What a day. We're back tomorrow.
Hell yeah.
I don't think I'll ever go back to one of those.
You never know.
Maybe.
You never know.
I think I nailed it, though. I did. I thought I fucking had
That, I mean, that's a great. That is a solution.
44 minutes of them being pissed, and in my head, I'm just like, we just fucking need to do a deal. What are we even talking
You're
about?
about solutions. Like John Taffer, you're about solutions. You're not about problems. So I don't want to hear your problem. I want to hear solutions.
It wasn't a round table per se. It was like a little theater like setup with Goodell sitting at the head of a table, and then like Troy Vincent was next to him, and then a couple other people, and then there were some players down on the bottom row, but then it was like I was in like the middle second tier to the right, just trying to avoid all. But then Slater was coming over top, and then some other guy in the gold jacket was coming over here, and then a guy whose fingers were sideways with two canes was like, and I'm fucking. And I'm like, yeah, I like what's going on here. I'm about done with this. Okay, sweet. But do we have any answers on insert something else that they're pissed off about? It's like, yeah, I do. I mean, I'm fucking excited to hear this. And obviously, Roger Goodell handled the room absolutely perfectly. And at the very end, I mustered up the courage. Now, little did they know I was about to go do what I did on the draft stage. You know, I don't think that anybody in that room knew I was going to be doing that. But, yeah, I thought I had the idea. It got shipped away quickly.
Later on, though, I'm sure they're like,
maybe we should find What did that dumbass say? What did that fucking idiot? All right, let's get the hell out of here. Boys, great work today. Matt Moravec from Mecum Auto Auction. Thanks for starting the show today.
Matty.
I can't wait to spend time over there. Only one car, maybe two. Depends on what the wife wants.
Yeah, we'll see. See what they got for Talk.
Yeah. We might be going live tomorrow to buy a car for Talk because he does not have a car out here in Indiana.
Oh, yes.
So in the third hour tomorrow, there's a chance we are bidding from here.
Oh, yes.
That's going to be awesome.
What do you want? What do you think
it's
for?
not
What
up
kind
to
of
him.
model?
Don't you? It's certainly not.
I know. What kind of model are you thinking? Like a neon or something?
The way I described it was, and I don't know if you've ever heard this, I said hilarious is the way I described it. If you guys have any hilarious cars going in the 2 o'clock hour, we would be very pretty. If it's 1 o'clock, whatever.
Either or.
Just let us know what time a hilarious one is, and then we'll be the internet, which is always a bidder that's looming. You know, always a bidder that's looming. It could be us. Yes, that could be tomorrow. So many cars.
There's so many that would fit Talk. Like,
boom, there's
so
that
many.
1972 Chevrolet C10 Cheyenne Super Pickup right there.
Yahtzee. The blue one right there?
Yeah, maybe. How about the Hummer? How about the original Hummer, it appears?
I mean, 06 Lexus would be pretty electric.
Yeah, talking in a
4
2 miles per gallon.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking original.
We're thinking the same thing there.
Hummer could be there. Maybe that mobster one up top left there. Maybe.
83 Chevy.
Yeah, this is what we're talking about. Yeah, tomorrow is full of opportunities for talking. Happy birthday, Talk.
Birthday Talk. Yep. You see that 2003 Mercury?
On the right, yeah. Let's make sure nobody else sees.
Yeah, good call.
All right, we appreciate you all so much for allowing us to do this for a living. Tomorrow should be a great show. Then we'll be off Thursday, Friday. We aren't happy about it, but we will be watching the PGA Championship while we're all buying cars at the Indiana State Fairgrounds from our friends at Mecum. Shout out to them for being so incredibly kind and hospitable. Great work today, AJ. D-Butt, you crushed it. Boys, way to go. Hammer is in about 15 minutes. Yep. I can't wait to see what we're betting on tonight. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. Like our friends at Dude Wipes. That's real deal. A bath for your ass. It's worth it. Only one per flush, though. Only one per flush. Hey, we're in this thing together. Team on me. Team on three. 1, 2, 3. Team. Goodbye.